He's the best lawyer in Miami.
That second one is courtesy of my guest today. Guys, we're going to have a banger today. I always try to bring in fun people. I always try to bring in good people to talk to, have great conversations, because this channel, Legal Mindset, we're not just about the law. We're about having fun doing it. And a guy who I met here in Korea, who's actually like the Korea OG, he reached out to me. He was in Busan, South Korea, one of my favorite cities. When I used to live in Daegu, I was in Busan every other day. I might be banned off of multiple dating apps in that city. Can neither confirm nor deny. But we went out together in Seoul, had a great time. I was the drunkest possible with this guy. And it turns out he's a lawyer as well. And he has a lot of experience. So I wanted to bring him on, introduce him to you guys, and chop up some of this ridiculous Amber Heard situation. So let me introduce you to my good friend, Jeff, of Legal Vices. How's it going, Jeff?
It's going great. Your intro made me spill my adult beverage on myself already. We're off to a great start.
So what are you drinking? Because actually for tonight, I was in a makgeolli mood, so I went and got some makgeolli from the CU.
Oh, you've gotten it. No, I have my Johnny Depp trial pack here with me.
So you have
I got my gummy bears. I got my gummy bears and my Maker's Mark bottle, which he allegedly stabbed us with.
Guys, okay.
It's my Johnny Depp trial pack.
Okay, this stream is already censored because of the Maker's Mark bottle. That's it. We're demonetized, guys. It's over.
No!
R.I.P. the Legal Mindset channel.
Get us the off the off angle.
Jeff, I think that is literally the same amount of liquid that the bottle had in it that Johnny was using. I'm not joking. I think it was literally the same one. Allegedly.
Yeah, well,
allegedly.
I've got comments about that and how that is literally an impossible thing.
Have you tried? How do you know, Jeff? Can you confirm that? It's impossible.
Oh, I can if you want me to.
I do not. I do not need you to confirm that hard. But hey, cheers, guys. It is morning for you guys, but it's evening here in Korea. So we're gonna be drinking. That's some good shit. We're going to be having a good time, guys. So welcome all, everybody. As you pile in, make sure to smash that like button. I see almost 100 of you in the chat. I guarantee you we'll get to an easy 500, 600, 700. So why not just be the first?
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? And while you're at it, go over there. Legal Vices, his channel is in the description. You can go find him, go over to his channel, sub right now. Don't wait till later. Just sub now. It'll save you guys time. You want to disrupt the flow.
I want in on the grift. I want in on the grift.
Yeah, it's a good grift. It's a good grift. So what's up? I see everybody coming in from all over the world here. Joanne from the UK. We've got, Nicole also from the UK. We've got very important Chat Murphy. Always need a Murphy in the chat. What's up, East Texas and Miami here? Guys, what's up, Chris? What's up, Danielle, my OG, Ian Fami, Troglodyte, Bradley Allen calling me gay. It's okay. I'm just heteroflexible, guys. Mark Peters, what's up? Brent Cormier, what's up? And Johnny Osprey, good to see all you guys in the chat here today. Bright and early, kicking it off. More from Texas, where we got some Texas. We got Little Binger in Ireland. Giving some booty to the judges in Ireland, obviously. Jasper in Scotland. We've got Austin. Is that Austin or Australia? Because one of those is a problem. East Tennessee. Okay, cool. I have some family in Knoxville. Good place. Breezy. Already starting out with a super chat saying Amber stole the bottle story from her former assistant, Kate James. She doesn't testify to the pain because she never went through it. I mean, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
I said this. Do you think somebody could walk straight after they were penetrated by a Maker's Mark bottle?
No, and I'm going to tell you why. Because we don't want to get you. I'm sorry for holding it this way.
No, demonetize me, baby. Let's do it.
I would feel better holding it like this than holding it like this, frankly. But no, the way the Maker's Mark bottles are made is they're dipped in this semi-hard wax.
Semi-hard.
Yeah,
Semi-hard.
so it's a slightly flexible, but it's still hard. And if you look at those pictures that she had taken the next day, the top was off. And because it's dipped, it has a very, very thick, hard, sharp ridge around it. And if you're doing that inside of it, it would rip you to shreds. That would tear her insides up. Like
it would literally be a murder scene. Like her vagina would be a murder scene, right? It would not be pretty. It
adds a good half inch around, and that's a fairly crusty, sharp edge. There is no way he savaged her with that.
That's a half inch of girth, people. Girth goes much longer.
Sharp edged girth as well.
Sharp girth, right?
Yeah.
A half inch of sharp girth in her canal. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. And yeah, guys, this is definitely legal mindset after dark. It is 10 p.m. here in Korea. We're doing what the fuck we want to do. Shout out to all. We're now up to 200 of you guys in the chat. So shout out to everybody there.
How many of them thought their mornings would start out with this conversation?
This is how it should start out, guys. This is how your morning should start out. It should start out with a light conversation of the impossibility of being, penetrated with a Maker's Mark bottle without taking substantial damage.
Little do they know this is the lighthearted part of the day. It just goes downhill from here.
Just you wait, guys. Just you wait. All right, let's hit it with some memes. I always like to start out with the memes. And yes, guys, Legal Vice has just started his channel. He has less than 200 subs. So go over there, boost his channel. If all 200 of you sub, that's doubling his subs, which would be awesome. So really let's share over here these memes. So you've got Klaus here. Nice. I don't know if you saw this, but literally today, Justin Trudeau, blackface Trudeau, was with a Jack Russell Terrier and Zelensky, and they were celebrating the Jack Russell Terrier helping educate children about mines.
Wow, there's something for me to deep dive into tomorrow.
You can't make this shit up. I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? I'm going to go over a little bit of this. We're going to be talking tomorrow, my time, and I think maybe the next day. But tomorrow, I'll be with Scott from Future Conflicts, who I'm actually going to see. It's kind of funny with all my South Korean connections because you're in Busan, he's in Pyeongtaek, and I'm actually going to be there next week, and we're going to hang out. But we're going to talk about some of this fakery because it's absolutely ridiculous. Elon Musk. If I die under mysterious circumstance, it's been nice knowing you. Clinton, I did that. U.S. government wants poisoned alcohol to get people to stop drinking. I mean, that's facts.
It's semi-factual, yes.
Yes. POV, you're a Supreme Court judge Democrats disagree with. Yeah, they literally called for them to go outside the judge's house. I mean, the press secretary said, we're okay with that. I mean, that's literally calling for something bad to happen to them.
It's insane. It's just insanity.
Yeah. That's insane. I mean, that's literally calling for an unjust system.
I mean, I wish that was a funny meme, but that's
it's not. Serious. It's not because the crazy woke leftists will actually try to eat somebody. Colleges after you paid them $100K for a degree.
Oh, I sent the letter when I got my first alumni, please contribute to us thing. I said, well, wait 10 years until I paid off my goddamn student loans.
So yeah, the fuck you letter. Yeah, I actually called them to tell them that. No lie. I literally told them like until I paid the loans, like you don't really have a claim on anything. Jesus Christ.
Next.
It's funny. Some things no words are needed. Like we don't even need to say anything right now about this. Oh shit. I said today, like, is the baby formula payback for Roe versus Wade? They're like, if you want babies, you won't be able to feed them. We're gonna starve those babies out. Like what the fuck is going on? And of course, they blamed it. By the way, Jeff, you'll find this funny.
Yeah.
They blamed it on Asia. So I guess Asian babies are safe.
Well, good.
Just look at them, complete lunatics. Dropbox root 731 plug it in. Mulin. Yep. Real interesting, guys. 10%. Throwing out Jack Dorsey, Elon, throwing out Parag. Very nice, very nice. And Trump's headed on back probably. Ultra MAGA. Here's my promise to you. If I'm elected, I will always choose to unite rather than divide. I'll take responsibility instead of blaming others. I'll never forget the job. It's about me. It's about you. I love how like the Ultra MAGA became a thing. You have to add Ultra. It makes everything better, right? It's like Mecha Godzilla. Like adding Mecha made Godzilla better.
Or Mega Pints. I think Mega MAGA would have been better.
Oh. That's where it went, guys. That's where it went. He needs some milk. Oh, no. Sugar daddying Zelensky. And this one, which we saw yesterday. Never stick your dick in the herd zone. Never stick your dick in the herd zone. Good stuff, guys. Hey, man, your memes are fired today. Good job, guys. Really, like
brutal today.
You guys have been coming through. That's on legalmindset.locals.com. Also, if you want to, during the show, if you've got anything to send to me, it's a funny meme. It's something I think Jeff and I will laugh at. Send it to me on the Twatters, right? I do actually check my Twatters. So if you have anything you want to send over there, any memes, any funny videos, anything else, send it to my Twitters. Should be hilarious today. We're going to have a lot of fun today because we're going to go through a lot of fucking hilarious video from the Heard trial and review all of that. Before we do that, Jeff, before I go all these super chats, because I'm going to get to your super chats in a second, guys. Can you tell people a little bit about yourself and like about your journey, what brought you here? You're in Korea, what you're doing, and what you want your channel to be about.
I can do that. Well, gee. I was born a poor black child.
Okay, Justin Trudeau.
No, I got here to Korea first in 1988, September 21st, as a squeaky clean, white shirt, tie wearing Mormon missionary. Excuse me while I take a drink.
Yes, a now whiskey drinking Mormon missionary. So, mind you, at one point, this guy who I'm talking to tonight was a Mormon missionary. Keep that in mind.
I was preaching the gospel for 2 years. And then I went back to the States and I went to Utah State University, and they made a sister relationship with Busan National University. And I was in Busan as a missionary. And they said, we need to find someone who wants to go to Busan to go to school. Do we know anybody that wants to be a guinea pig? And my advisor just happened to say, I think I know somebody who might want to go back. And so I came back and went to school here for 2 years as an exchange student. Then I went back to did my senior year of university, then went into law school. And then after law school, moved here permanently in, 96? Something like that. 93.
It's all
in 1993.
It's relative at that point,
So basically, I've been here for 34 years. I worked for a Korean law firm. We specialize mostly in maritime and shipping and admiralty issues and corporate law. We do white collar crimes. We used to do a lot of the blue collar stuff, drug cases and things like that, but small return on investments.
White collar pays better, doesn't it? The white collar pays a hell of a lot better.
The druggy clients aren't really as reliable on the payment end of things. No, get me out of here and I'll be sure to settle the bill, and then you never see them again. So now we do more of the white collar stuff.
Cash up front, baby.
And my channel actually started about 16 years ago when I was the president of a motorcycle club here. And I just take videos going around the country, filmed with like a potato back then. And it just sat dormant until probably when everyone else started paying attention to the internet, right around the Rittenhouse trial. And I thought, I've got shit to say. And so I might think about doing this. And then you and I talked, and that sort of got me more interested.
Yeah, I was like, dude, you need to get on this because I need a Korean compatriot here. All these motherfuckers in America, they don't know what's up. And also, I just really loved your takes on it. And you have so much experience, and like you've seen some shit. Like, so, I mean, you just need to talk about the shit that you've seen. The stories that this man tells me about Korea are fucking legendary. Like, I just can't even go into it. And you're just a hell of a good time to be with. Like I said, Jeff is the only guy who I've got. The night we went out on Hooker Hill in Itaewon, that was the drunkest I've ever been in Korea. When I was going home.
That's amateur night. We'll take care of you next time.
Exactly. Like I typically don't get that drunk. Like I was like that.
Remember being on Hooker Hill? You weren't drunk enough.
At least I wasn't on Homo Hill. I avoided that.
Well, we didn't even go up that way, did we? Just to check.
No, we didn't. We stopped. We stayed there, and we stayed as long until they kicked us out because there was still a curfew then. No more curfew. Don't have to deal with that bullshit anymore, though. Next time.
That's the good thing about this LawTube community that sort of you're a part of is everything I'd seen up to this point was just the serious tie wearing, three-piece suit wearing, just sit around monotone analysis of legal things. And that's just kind of boring as hell. And then watching the Rittenhouse trial, the other trials, okay, there's a lot of fun people on here that sort of their brains unfortunately think the way mine thinks. And so kind of put me in the comfort zone.
Unfortunately.
My mind is a scary, scary place sometimes. And the fact that other people share that gives me hope for humanity, but also kind of, is a little bit frightening. But so I just kind of said, let's just do this. Let's just go in and put my deals out there. So I started last week, and I was sitting on 123 subscribers for about 15 years. I put up a couple of legal videos and somebody dropped out last week. So I lost a subscriber, but dang, I'm already up to 210. You've doubled me, guys. Oh,
good. Go, guys. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you for going there. Once again, this legal vices. 557 of you in the chat. What's up to everybody? So
300 and some odd of you aren't trying. Get over and subscribe. Everyone that subscribes to the next 10 minutes gets a free Baldo session.
Bro, Drex loves that fucking Baldo. Like literally cannot put it down. I'm afraid for the fact I'm like, Drex, are you sanitizing it before you put it on your dick every single time you like touch it? Like, anyways, we're not even gonna go there now.
He doesn't use it, does he? He can't possibly. He
swears he's used it. I mean, look,
really painful.
Drex has sent me. I'm gonna say this about Drex. Drex has sent me enough receipts that I believe he's legitimate, but thankfully I haven't seen a Baldo receipt because
just take his word for it.
That's a little bit too much. Like I don't want to see that. There's like you don't want to see receipts on that one.
If he hadn't and you asked for it, he would do it just to send you the picture.
Yes. Okay. You must have gotten this before, by the way. Okay. So I'm obviously Adam Soju, but now you're Dr. Robotnik. Have you?
Better than Bunsen Honeydew.
Hey, cheers to you, IFID. That's a pretty good one. Anytime is happy hour, right, from New Jersey. Yes. Anytime is happy hour, particularly in Korea. It's happy hour at any time. I'll tell you that.
Pretty much. That was Cinco de Mayo. That started with margaritas at 10:30 and ended up 15 margaritas later, still sitting on the beach.
Well, and I ended up because I was in the bar that we were at. We were at Charles H, which is number 4 bar in Asia now. And I ended up getting pretty lit at Charles H. And then I went to the Mexican bar, and the Mexican bar was mediocre compared to Charles H. I was like, shit, I want to go back to Charles H. This is way better. But I had a worm taco, which was interesting. They're like, this is the food of the future. And I'm like,
that was the picture you posted.
Yes.
That was like a legit thing you did.
66% of people would not eat that worm taco, but I was like, fuck it, I'll try it. I ate half of it. It tasted like nothing. I mean,
you get down in the barrio, like in back in Las Vegas off the strip, where the real Mexican restaurants are.
Right.
Make some of the best cow brain, cow eye tacos ever. You would never think of eating it, but they taste so fucking good.
I actually like they've done like seasoned, like spiced crickets, like seasoned crickets. with like mezcal. Like I've been to like a mezcaleria where essentially like they give you those as like a snack. I actually don't mind those. It's all in your fucking head. It's all in your head of like your visual association with them.
Well, and if you go to some of these Korean restaurants that have like the royal menus with like the 475 side dishes with 837 courses, like sometimes they'll have for the courses like grasshoppers that have been deep fried in Karo syrup, so they're like crispy and crunchy.
See, I have not had that. Maybe we need to go do that. That's a good vlog. We can do that. That'll be a good one.
You've seen the silkworm larva they steam on the streets, haven't
yes,
you? Yeah,
I have seen that. I have
had
not recorded
one of those. I've had one of those in my life, and I will never, ever, ever have another one of those ever again.
Okay, so I got to do it, and I'll have somebody film it. So
I'll try anything because I'm not the kind of dickhead that say, "Oh, that must be disgusting. I've never tried it, but I'm sure it's disgusting." I'll try it and go, "Yeah, that's really awful."
Yeah, this confirms that this is fucking nasty.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm the same way.
Oh no. We've got VJ down here talking about cat. Dog meat is hands down the best meat I've ever tasted in my entire life.
And you lose half the subscribers. No, but it's extraordinarily popular. The people don't realize that.
But I won't eat it again. But it was incredibly delicious. I used to eat it a lot till I lived next door to a dog slaughter farm out in Kimhae.
And then
can't do it after that. Yeah, I can't do it. Yeah,
exactly. That's a fair point. Britt says on the SCOTUS thing, aren't the pro-choice politicians in the majority right now in both the House and Congress? With Joe at the White House, they could outflank the Roe versus Wade decision to make federal law. No, they're not in the. They're not. I don't think they have the majority. I think Joe Manchin. I think there's some people that are like not totally pro-choice here. I don't think they're going to get that win. I just don't think they'd be able to force it through. They've still got the filibuster. I just really don't think they can make it federal law. The other thing too is they can't make it a constitutional amendment. The thing is they can't make it a federal a right, the constitutional right. They don't have enough to pass that, so they can't create the right out of whole cloth. Could they try? Sure. I just don't think they will. I don't think they have the political clout for it, especially before this election where they're probably going to lose. I mean, they're already prepping to lose a lot of seats. So I don't know what you think about that, Jeff. I mean,
I think it's going to be a bloodbath
for the Democrats.
Oh yeah. They're just going to get slaughtered.
Yeah. I mean, they've been not just incompetent, but fucking authoritarian for the past couple of years. So over COVID, and everyone's seen it. Everyone's over it and everyone's done with it. So, and it's been exposed for the bullshit it is. I mean, we saw what the policies did to the United States, and we saw what happened with the states that didn't follow them, like Florida. Guess what? They fucking did not just survive, they thrived. So same thing with Texas. They didn't just survive, they thrived. So,
well, I think the conservatives, Republicans they're the silent majority. They get the abuse heaped on them. Oh, you're racist, you're this, you're homophobes, you're this. Everybody's quiet to a point. But once the right gets riled up, then they just overwhelm with numbers.
Yeah.
And
that's very true.
I think that's how Trump got in office the first time. There were so many people that got tired of being told they're racist, tired of being told they're misogynist, tired of being told they're homophobes. They said, okay, we're going and we're getting rid of all of this.
Yeah, they got tired of the same old bullshit. And that's all that Joe's offered is the same old bullshit that was offered before. People just thought that would be better, but they realized, no, it's way worse. It's way, way worse. All right, Wild Child. We all know Amber Heard is lying shit, is a lying poop. I'll just say that. Can you dig into Dr. Hughes' past court cases? Some enlightening and interesting stuff there. Okay, I'll have to look into that. I have not looked into that right now, but certainly I will for a future stream, and I will come back on that. I think that people have represented some crazy people often in the past, and that comes out. Britt, I just think they fit so much into the Commerce Clause. There has to be a way for them to sneak that in. Also, like healthcare, which is regulated by the states, is affected by the Commerce Clause somehow. Well, I mean, healthcare was by and large struck down, right? I mean, that was like all but neutered, right? It like had like a quarter of a nut left. There was like one sperm coming out of it, and it was completely impotent, right? I mean, they've done all but overturn the Affordable Care Act. It's just the only reason why it's still left around is because there's no punishment right now for failure to comply. If there was, it would have been tossed out with the garbage. I will say though, the Commerce Clause does need to be scaled back. I always bitch about this with Uncivil, but Wicker versus Fillmore, that case about the grain, the bushels of grain, and the farmer who just kept it back and them regulating that. I'm like, that's some bullshit. Like, I'm sorry, that's 100% bullshit. Needs to be scaled back. Commerce Clause is way too expansive. I know there's lots of precedent, but fuck stare decisis. Like, there's a reason why you overturn stuff, and that's one. That and Chevron. If they can get, I mean, I'm not honestly. This sounds bad, but I care more about Wicker and about Chevron than I care about Roe versus Wade. I'm sorry, that's my personal opinion, guys. It's my hot take, but
one affects you, one really doesn't.
One affects you every day, right? And that's commerce. That's how they regulate almost everything.
And you can't wear a condom to keep commerce out of the way,
Yeah. Bean says, Legal Vices has quite the amazing Dr. Robotnik. You're just Dr. Robotnik now. I'm sorry, man. You're just Dr. Robotnik. That's it.
This has been under a mask for over 2 years. I've been letting it grow, waiting for the time I can groom it out again.
You can unveil it on the world along with your evil scheme to stop the hedgehog.
I have to make my hipster twist here. Gotta do the hipster curl.
Quick says, I've been told war stories of hooker bowling during the winter on Hooker Hill.
Oh, dude. I'm having flashbacks. You know how steep that hill is.
It gets very fucking steep.
It gets icy and
hoes tend to be sliding. That's all I'm saying, guys. They tend to be sliding. And back then, it was before they could slide into your DMs. They had to actually slide into your fucking post office box.
On the 8-foot heels they wear. And yeah.
Yep. And you get a little soju in them. Just slide them on down that hill.
That's a flashback and a half there.
Britt says, just saying SCOTUS rarely scales back the Commerce Clause. They seem to expand at every turn. That's the problem, Britt. That's the problem, is that anytime they get a chance, you're like, yeah, Commerce Clause. Yeah, taxing power. The fuck out of here. Like, commerce was never intended to be that expansive. It was literally to say, okay, don't block commerce in between states, right? If Georgia's trying to ship cotton to, Tennessee, North Carolina can't stop it at the border. Okay, that I'm okay with them enforcing, okay? But the craziness that they're able to enforce the Commerce Clause right now, too much.
And once something becomes entrenched, it almost never goes back. It just keeps going in one direction or stays there.
Especially with these rhinos. I mean, they're so ballless. Other than Thomas, they've pretty much got no testicles to go and take these things on. I think Thomas is the only one who really would take on the Commerce Clause. So I could say, yeah, he'd do it. The other ones are probably too cucked, frankly. I would blame the Federal Society, but I think that's beating a dead rhino.
Yeah.
Instead, let's run into something a little bit more fun. Let's run into TikTok reactions. So I did this with Drex, but I'm going to do this with you. These are different TikTok reactions to the Amber Heard trial. This is going to be fun. So it's only 3 minutes. I'll see if I pause it. Like I may pause it like I did last time, or maybe I'll let it run. We'll see. We'll see how I feel right here. So let's roll with this.
That's all right, thank you. All right. Thank you, Your Honor. Will you please state your name? Yes, it's Amber Laura Heard. And what is your address? I live in Yucca Valley, California. And how old are you, Amber? I am 36. I just celebrated. Okay. And do you have a daughter? I do. She also celebrated her birthday recently. She's 1. And what is your problem?
My dog stepped on a bee.
My dad has to pee.
I ran out of coffee and had to make myself some tea.
The bank charged me a lot of fees.
I want to make like a rap song out of this now.
It's so good. It's so good.
It rhymes.
See? I wish takeaway was free.
My mom is stuck in a tree.
My cat ran up the tree.
There's a bird in a tree.
My cat drank my tea.
My student loans aren't free.
My daughter's 3.
spilt my cup of tea.
My squirrel got bit by a flea.
I twisted my knee.
I took a shit on the sheets.
Close my eyes, I can't see.
I can't find Lee.
My child spilt my tea.
He then got a flea.
I just planted a tree.
Her dog stepped on me.
She's gonna lose this case. OMG.
I was walking out of the bedroom, slapped me across the face. I turned to look at him. And I said, Johnny, you hit me. Johnny, why is our carpet so dirty? Dirty carpet. It's so dirty. Where's the maid?
Snort. Snort.
It's still here.
Snort.
Habit.
Inhale. Yep. That was an inhale, baby.
Oh, God.
I didn't realize at the time, but I think he was using cocaine because it was like there was a jar of cocaine out on the table. I realized it's not an actual vintage jar.
Yes.
I got a jar of that. I got a jar of that. And guess what's inside it?
That's exactly what I thought when she said that in the
Oh,
I
bro, that
got a
was
jar
so
of cocaine.
Like it's ridiculous. Like it's so bad. It's ridiculous, right?
I think there's a huge legal hurdle for Johnny Depp to win this. You know, it has to be the 7 unanimous juries. The verdict has to be unanimous from 7, as my tort professor used to call the jury, ignorant slobs. It has to be unanimous from 7 ignorant slobs. I think that's a huge hurdle, but in the public opinion trial, Johnny's going to be back to work real soon.
I mean, here's the thing too. Like, okay, Jeff, looking at those people, I mean, do those people, the people who are making the TikToks, do those look like men's rights activists? Do those look like hardcore right-wing people, manosphere people who are crazy extremists? You know, do those look like people that were like that are simping for Depp because they hate women and they are pro-patriarchy? Like, what do those people look like to you?
I would guess 75% at least of those were calling for his head 2 years ago.
That's exactly right. Like looking at just look, you don't even need to tell me anything about them. I know that they were literally like I said, calling for him to be canceled 2 years ago. But right now, the trend, it's cool to be justice for Johnny right now. So all of them are making the TikToks, are doing what's popular.
Well, and like I mentioned in my 2 trial-related videos I've posted so far, at the beginning of this, I was definitely thinking he did it a couple of years ago.
You were thinking he did it?
When this whole thing came out a couple of years ago. So I mean, he's notorious for being a cokehead. He's notorious for being an alcoholic. He's always got that kind of shady, you know, I'm hiding something. I thought, okay, I could definitely see him hauling off and clocking a woman. Maybe he's getting what's coming to him.
That was your gut reaction.
Yeah, at the beginning. I thought, okay, fine. Yeah, I had no problem with that. But then as the 2 years went by, and especially after the trial started, knowing that there's not this Me Too shit is a huge bandwagoning thing. No former girlfriends, no former friends, not even former disgruntled employees. Nobody jumped on the hang Johnny Depp bandwagon.
Right.
And if anybody had set himself up to be bandwagoned by an entire flock of women and employees, it would have been him. But nobody did that. Nobody came to attack him other than her. Even as
which is crazy. And here's another way. Fashionably tout goes a good point here. It seems more females are making fun of Amber Heard than males. That's a damn good point right now. If you see the memes and the people mocking it, there's a gender ratio. They're like she's getting ratioed right now. It's not just dudes saying justice for Johnny at all. I think it's majority women even at this point.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah. So good stuff, guys. Good stuff. All right. So there's another little funny thing. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I hope you guys are enjoying this, by the way. 1,355 of you here, guys. Smash the like button, guys. Once again, Legal Vices, his channel's in the chat. He sent me this really funny video. I'd seen this one before, but I want to play it for you guys. I'm just going to play it out. It's really fucking fun. It's a minute and 80 seconds. It's really fucking catchy if you guys haven't seen this one. So we're just going to play it out. It's the Objection song right here. This is for Objection Hearsay song.
I used to be respected. People took me at my word. Then I became a lawyer representing Amber Heard. Objection hearsay. Oh my God, I don't have a case. Objection hearsay. Now I'm ashamed to show my face. Well, I'm a famous movie star. Yeah, life is always fine. I sit down at my penthouse drinking mega pints of wine. Objection hearsay. I don't know why we ever wed. Objection hearsay. Who the hell poops in summer? I object to everything. I may have an infection. Cause I say I object. The judge says that was your own question.
Okay, one thing real quick though. That was so fucking epic when he objected to his own question.
And then when it was pointed out, I liked he just kind of went, okay, next.
Let's keep going.
I'm a deer. There's some headlights.
Absolutely ridiculous, but hilarious too at the same time. Hilarious.
Say, court isn't supposed to be this hard. Objection hearsay. How did I ever pass the bar? Just one final question, sir, and this one has been prepped. What is your name? My name is Johnny Depp. Objection hearsay. How can you prove that that's your name? Objection hearsay. Looks like we win and you are lame. Objection hearsay. Objection hearsay.
Shout out. That one is a great one, guys. That literally that one wins in terms of quality for content, guys.
My goal is to get that played in a club somewhere here.
We could probably do it. You know what? We could probably do it at your friend's bar.
Oh, no problem. No question
we
about
could
that.
definitely get that played.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, I would definitely vlog that. That would be prime content. It's like the Heard trial taking over Korea. You know, be prime content. All right, guys. Guys, 1,500 of you in the chat.
Wow.
Make sure you've got the like button smashed. Make sure you guys are doing well. This is great stuff, guys. This is great stuff. Like I said, it's catchy. It's funny. It's good stuff. Lindsay says women are angry, especially those who have been through abuse. She's making a mockery of it and trying to manipulate the world. Bad name for women. Poor Johnny. See, I think this is what we're getting at too. This is the same thing as what happened with Jussie Smollett. With Jussie Smollett, people who've actually been victims of racial crime, they're the ones who are getting the real disservice. Here, women who are actually victims of real abuse and violence, whether that's at the hands of men or at the hands of women. By the way, lesbian relationships, highest per capita incidence of domestic violence. Just so happens that Amber Heard was in a relationship with a woman and there was a domestic violence incident. What a coinky dink. What a coinky dink. But I think it's really exposing that this is something that affects everybody and that there are these type of people out there, particularly there are these type of women that can lie, just like men can lie. The equality is, if you want equality, men can lie, women can lie too. We can all lie, right? I don't care if you have no parts downstairs, you can still lie, you know? Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, that's the thing. There's so much real shit that's going on out there. So many relationships that really have these abuse problems that people are unable to escape from. That you get this new stuff coming in, this bullshit where if even 1% of what she's said that he has done is true, he needs to be buried 6 feet under a prison somewhere. So it's so exaggerated. It's so conflated. It's just the story there's more and more incidents. They get more and more serious as time goes on. And we're just in this situation where, like you said, people are just, it devalues what really happened.
By a massive amount. Massive amount.
Because of this, if it goes the way that we all hope it will go and Johnny Depp gets off, how much more is that going to prevent actual victims of DV from going forward?
A huge amount. I mean, it will actually do that. But you know, this is what happens, right? I mean, there's a consequence, right? There's consequences to actions, and when you've allowed that, and when organizations like the ACLU allow people to be their gender violence representative without any sort of vetting, without any sort of proving the underlying allegation, this is what we get. This is what you get. This is the natural outcome. Enraged Bacon says, I watched a Q&A with Johnny pre-allegations. He is the exact same person as he was on the stand. So Johnny is consistent. I mean, and look, you can say what you want to say. Like I agree with Jeff that, you know, Johnny, cocaine is a hell of a drug. And man, the guy, you know, in the immortal words of Rick James, but he's been on a lot of drugs. I mean, he was bros with Hunter S. Thompson. His mind is now permanently wired different. Johnny Depp is wired different. But that doesn't make him guilty. That doesn't make him culpable. And just because somebody is imbibing of whether it's beverages or substances doesn't automatically make them a horrible person. That may make them do some things that are, yes, cheers. Cheers. As I am really putting some damage on this makgeolli. This is actually pretty fucking delicious.
You should see the damage this Maker's Mark bottle can do.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We're not talking about the semi-hard edge of the Maker's Box bottle again. We're leaving that for later.
Okay.
That's the finisher. That's the finisher, Jeff.
That's what she said. Never mind. Sorry.
Also, Thunder Kid says, look up turd in Urban Dictionary. Well, I did look up turd. Turd says nothing. So Thunder Kid, turd, you're wrong. Turd says nothing. However, Amber Turd, let me pull this up real quick. Amber Turd indeed does say something. Amber Turd, taking a huge shit on your partner's side of the bed and leaving it for them to discover after an argument. I left him an Amber Turd this morning after he called me a bitch. You'll get an Amber Turd for that one. So, yes, Amber Turd is now in Urban Dictionary. Thank you.
Can we just call it an Amber Alert from here on out? I left her an Amber Alert.
Yes. It's good stuff, though. It's good. It's good stuff. I approve of all of these uses of amber. All of them are legitimate uses. So let me pull up this guy. So Jeff, there was the moment in which, and I forget which witness. Do you remember which witness they were using for vaping guy when they were using his
he was the doorman.
The doorman, right? So during the doorman's testimony, there was a guy who was vaping in his car, right? And he's like, I'm done, and drives off. He starts driving while vaping in his car, giving a deposition. While vaping in his car, right? So we got a little video here for you guys from our boy, Mr. Vape over here. He is Lex on, Evil Lex on TikTok, right? Let's hear what he has to say about his vaping and whether or not he's contrite about it.
Somebody said I was so unprofessional on my deposition, but I don't care because that's not my job and they're not paying me.
and see that is his guaranteed credibility. He's not testifying for Johnny. He's testifying because somebody gave him a subpoena and said, get your ass in court. He didn't want to be there for that deposition. He didn't want to do it. He doesn't give a shit about either one of those two. He's a busy guy that's got a job to do.
Yeah, for sure. Katarina says, nothing to do with trend. This affects everybody. It's about truth and real victims. In this case, Johnny is the victim. Yes, that's absolutely true. Disney should apologize. Disney will never apologize. Disney does not apologize. They have a corporate policy. Let me tell you guys, I worked in Orlando. I worked with Universal Studios. I had compatriots who worked for Disney. I sat across the table from Disney. They never fucking apologize. Disney never apologizes except to the LGBTQ community for failing them and failing to send pardon up for them. Other than that, they will never apologize.
Is that an actual policy or is that just a unwritten policy they have.
And it's unwritten, but one of their policies is to never allow somebody to win over them in court. So they will fight something in court, for example, tooth and nail, or settle. They'll take a settlement, or they'll fight it and they'll just win because they'll pro hoc vice. They'll sue you in all 50 states. So it's like, good luck with your lawyer pro hoc viceing into all 50 states. Are you having the money to fight this? Because you're probably not going to be able to fight this. We're going to win.
They are ruthless bastards.
Ruthless, and that's their reputation in terms of litigation. So, they do.
One other organization that's more litigious than them, which Tom Cruise is related to, but we won't mention their name.
We cannot mention them because if we do, we'll be sued very hard. We can shit talk the Mormons and their dancing.
Sure,
right?
Because they're Republicans and will just shut up and go, "Oh yeah, whatever," and ignore you and not respond.
Exactly. The conservatives that'll just show up. They're definitely there. But thank you so much, Katerina. All right. What do we got here? Kit Kat says, she sets off all of my warning bells. Controlling, manipulative, always the victim. My ex isolated, controlled, gaslighted, no hitting. Amber Heard has vibes. Yeah. I mean, and that's what she was trying to do. We talked about that earlier when I was talking with my friend Jay Shore, who literally deals with victims like constantly. This is what they do. They isolate you, they trigger you, and she knew how to set Johnny Depp off. She knew that Johnny Depp wanted to remove himself from the situation, and she chose to isolate him, to try to control him, and to try to manipulate him by crying, by lashing out, by saying that she was going to die because Johnny Depp wanted some alone time, because he wanted 2 hours of alone time. God forbid, that's going to kill her.
Well, she did that a couple of times in her testimony, where she would start to say something, then she would stop. There was one where she said, "Well, I threw up. He grabbed me, and so I tried to fight back." She would just get on the verge of saying, "I instigated this," and then she would stop, catch herself, and go back and go, "Oh, never mind. I meant I was a victim."
Yep.
And I mean, these things that Kit Kat's mentioning, these were the parts of her opening sections of her testimony. I was thinking, is she listening to this? This is exactly what she's been doing to him, and he's got the receipts to back it up.
Right. And all the things when they were talking to Dr. Mommy, right? Shout out to Dr. Mommy. They were bringing up all these traits that Amber herself had as a person with histrionic personality disorder, possibly BPD as well. She's definitely histrionic. I think that was the higher of the scores there, but it's all of that stuff. So when I hear people tell me that they're triggered by this case, I can certainly believe that. I mean, for me, the thought of being with a woman like Amber Heard is a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. And no matter how hot she is, no matter how good that pee is, it's not worth it, right? It's not worth it. It's never worth it. That's why there's the crazy hot scale, guys. All right. So I want to jump into some ownage, some lawyer ownage. We got some good footage here.
Oh, good.
And this one we're going to jump into is 3 minutes, but it is pretty much Amber Heard's attorney is getting owned, right? And as an attorney, I want your take on this and how they deal with this, and if you've seen this before, because this is real bad, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. But I'd like to get your opinion as an experienced attorney, what you think about this. So this right here is Camille Vasquez is the one who's going to be objecting.
Does Camille have a nickname at this point? I haven't heard a Camille nickname. I think
I'm going to give her. I'm going to give her.
Respect her enough to call her Camille because we don't want to demean her in any way.
That or she's Mamacita Esquire, because I mean I'm okay with it, bro. I'm 100%. Camille is my girl. She's my law waifu. I'm okay with that. I'll allow it to happen. I'll let it happen. Camille, call me maybe. That's all I'm saying.
You employed a woman named Kate James. Is that correct?
Objection leading.
Any relation?
Starting strong. Remember, guys, this is direct examination. You cannot lead. You cannot tell a witness what to say on direct examination. That's fucking 101. Like it's so easy to avoid that.
I'm sure
on
that.
direct.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm sure that someone's pointed this out, but I'm getting serious vibes that her lawyers do not have a great deal of courtroom experience. Usually these commercial attorneys will settle like 95, 99% of these cases are settled before they get to court.
Yep.
These guys don't want to go to court because they get their contingency fees, they get their success fees, they can bill the shit out of the hourly fees. They want to get in, get out, and move on to the next case. And I just don't think they've had enough experience in court. They act so inexperienced.
I've got a theory on this, and this is very interesting. So I think that, frankly, I think that not a lot of lawyers can deal with Amber Heard's crazy ass. So I frankly think she was stuck with mediocre to below average attorneys. I would say they're pretty trash tier attorneys, right? And these are the
that would make sense.
These are the discount bin of attorneys because the discount bin can't discriminate, right? Everybody looks pretty at 3 a.m. And at this point where Amber Heard is in terms of PR, Amber Heard is the drunk, 800-pound dude or girl walking out of the bar at 3 a.m. She's not looking pretty, but somebody's got to take it, right? Somebody's got to take that grenade. Somebody's got to jump on it. And this team is the team that jump on that grenade. And you can tell by their quality. They're not top tier. They're not on top of their shit. And I'm not saying that Johnny's team is flawless. Certainly Johnny's team has made some mistakes and failures to object. But
they're charismatic. They're funny. They're real.
Yes. And I will say this, and I've said this on other trials, I said this for Rittenhouse, other trials. We can, as lawyers, like Jeff and I are lawyers, we can armchair quarterback, but we're not in the courtroom.
And we're not the jury.
Yes. So, and we're also not seeing the jury. And now from what I've heard in my interviews, check out my interviews with Christina, she's inside the courtroom. She said from inside the courtroom that the jury isn't reacting much. But even though she said that, the lawyers may be looking at the reactions of the jury and they may be picking up on something. They may be feeling something. We don't know that. So, for example, some juries might not take kindly to lawyers who are objecting all the time. So maybe it's... Go ahead.
And that's the problem that her attorneys have had from the beginning. I mean, they're rabidly aggressive to an accountant. They're just pointlessly like, I'm going to get you, I'm going to kill you. They go for the throat.
For a fucking accountant. He's an accountant. He's literally talking about numbers.
And I would think, again, as the jury's be like, well, what the fuck are you yelling at him for? He's got nothing to do with this.
Yeah. He's doing the books.
And it may sound sexist, but now the law field is dominated by women, but there's still the perception that the woman has to be an aggressive, angry bitch to stand up to the guys and post her flag to show. That's not true anymore. No. Women don't have to act like guys. Women can get a lot more done acting like a woman.
Milk, milk or was it honey than vinegar? Honey than vinegar, not milk. Yeah. Honey than vinegar, right? And I'll tell you, every time I've seen it effectively done, those female attorneys that can kind of lure you in, that can get you into that false sense of comfort and security, and then spring the trap on you, are much more effective than the cat ladies that are nagging you about Amica cream.
Well, I mean, you've nicknamed her Karen. To me, it's just Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Lady Elaine Fairchild.
Yeah, I mean, I originally went with like the lawyer Karen, but now I think she's cat lady, and there's Dr. Karen, because that doctor, she was the New York Karen. She was the quintessential. Her facial expressions were so unlikable. It was miraculous.
And if there was anyone that's ever looked more like a hired gun than her,
yes.
I mean, she basically just said, I'm being paid to say this.
Right.
I'm saying
I have never, she came out and pretty much said, I have never found that a woman was the abuser. I've always concluded that men are the abusers.
Well, and then it was the question was, you've never testified on behalf of a man. Is that correct? And she gave I did once a couple of months ago. That's I have a black friend answer.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
I did it once. Which
Yeah,
tells
but-
you even more she did it because she got paid.
Right.
Not because she believed the dude, because she doesn't represent dudes.
Exactly. Let's kick this off.
Relationship did you have with Kate James?
She was my assistant at the time. I hired her sometime in 2012 and had as minimal contact with her as I possibly could.
Hello, jury.
And why is that?
She was difficult.
She forgot what was in the script.
She literally cannot come up with it. She was
Her testimony is so scripted. When she forgets her line, she doesn't have the script reader off stage. I mean, this deal, I'm not sure if you've seen it, but when she talks about being drugged across the parakeet floors.
Yes.
Instead of the parquet floors.
Yes.
It's so scripted that nobody even told her how to pronounce that word in the script. A parakeet floor. Come on.
It was the B-roll from Gone Girl, right? It was like the alternative script. I mean, it's insane.
Troubled and inconsistent. I just drank on the job and stuff like that. And
are you describing yourself, Amber? Are you describing yourself, Amber?
That's the expression she made just before dropping an amber turd, too, probably.
The lady doth protest too much.
Her behavior was
Objection, relevance.
horrible.
It's true. It has nothing to fucking do with anything. Great objection.
The pretrial strategy is just whatever she says, object. Doesn't matter what the objection is. Just anytime she opens her mouth, object. It's revenge time. I love this.
And it works.
James has testified, and I think is biased. We can.
I'll allow that. Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay. Please describe for the jury what job responsibilities Kate had and how you communicated with her and kind of how that worked.
Objection, compound.
Overruled.
Thank you.
We had minimal person-to-person interaction because I was hardly ever in LA. If I was there for a few days at a time. And Johnny and I kind of lived in this insular bubble anyway when we were together. But we would send emails, texts, and a lot of voice memos, voice notes. And, you know, if I found that if I said, Kate, you know, you left the car running with your doors open and your kids in the car on the street. You
Objection,
need to move
hearsay.
She's not testifying. She's testifying about context.
She's testifying about being a shitty woman and leaving her kids in the car.
I'm going to ask you to take a look at.
Would have been better if she turned off the engine and rolled up the windows.
Your Honor, I'm going to object on hearsay grounds.
It hasn't even started.
Yep.
It's still hearsay.
Johnny, move your head. There's some great cleavage shots when Johnny leans forward.
I will say Camille's looking a little busty. It is.
Ms. Hurd, did you communicate with Kate James by
She also has fantastic hair. We'll give her that shout out as well.
email in the ordinary course of your business?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And I'm going to ask you to take a look at Defendants 209. Is this a communication that was between you and Kate James that was in the ordinary course of business?
I love how here she's channeling like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, you know, but she's not. She's 100% not.
The granny chains on the glasses that apparently she doesn't need.
Yep.
I've heard these are purely cosmetic.
Which I would not be shocked, especially after she saw Dr. Mommy. She's like, I must become Dr. Mommy because I must mimic. I have no personality of my own.
Dr. Mommy said, put the glasses on.
Everybody wants her muffins. I want people to want my muffins too.
Yeah, those muffins are damaged
her as
goods.
an employee?
Yes, it is.
So, Your Honor, I'm going to move the admission of Defendants Exhibit 209. Business records exception.
Still hearsay, Your Honor.
Business record exception gets the business record, but it's hearsay. If there's hearsay involved inside the business record, there's still objection to hearsay.
Yep.
Sometimes this judge knows what she's doing.
I mean, I do.
Did you hear that? Like I'm playing that one more time.
Your Honor, the business records exception. I mean, I don't.
That's a great song. It's like down with the sickness, man.
Oh God, Disturbed. That's a good throwback.
I don't agree. I think that's the point that you're taking.
The judge doesn't give a shit if you agree. She ruled.
Like, that's not an objection. Like, a response is not, I don't agree. Like, that's not a grounds. Like, I don't agree with them. Like, that's not right. No, you need a reason. They're like laughing. They're fucking laughing.
Like,
she's trying not to laugh.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Approach.
And while they're at the sidebar, you've seen the movie Labyrinth with David Bowie and
yes, excellent movie. Yes.
Doesn't the lady sitting next to Johnny Depp look like the troll guy Ludo that was like hanging around?
Oh God.
Smell bad.
Damn it, Jeff. I think they conclude there, but yes, that is good, guys. That was that testimony. Good stuff. God damn it, guys. And if you want to say God damn it, oh, by the way, we did see our girl Shinlei Painter there. That's in her in her green dress. Like I said, she slid into my Twitter DMs, but I did not. She's like, I gotta look at your stream before I come on. I'm like, I know
you're doomed.
It's gonna be too racy. She's gonna see it. She's gonna be exposed to you guys. The chat, you guys ruin it. I blame you guys for ruining my possibility of getting her in there. Kit Kat says, this isn't a men versus women, it's a victim versus abuser. Let's stop dividing victim versus survivors and just support true victims of all debate. Yeah, that's the point. But I guess the thing, Kit Kat, is that we've got to acknowledge the fact that Amber Heard was it's not men that framed it this way. It's Amber Heard, the ACLU, that framed it this way. We're trying to correct what Amber Heard and the ACLU did. They made this into a men versus women thing. We are not making it into that. We're saying it is an everybody thing. Okay? It's an everybody thing.
Absolutely.
Abuse is abuse, no matter who it is. But there's a certain group of people that does not want that to be true.
And this was at the pinnacle of Me Too, when it was women against men.
Yes.
Men didn't create this. Well, I guess you can argue that the Me Too behavior guys did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not what we're doing. I mean, it's
Epstein and Weinstein. Yes, they did do this, right? Those are also two people amongst 3.5 billion men in the world, right? I mean, they are two people, right? That does not. The exceptions do not prove the rule. So you can't say all men are bad, therefore you must trust all women. That's a fallacy. And once again, it's not us saying this. This was the ACLU that named Amber Heard the representative. They did this. We didn't do this. We're not bringing this up. We're just stating what happened. Brandon says Earl Grey was a boss in the Potter trial. Oh man, he was a G. Woke jury convicted because they didn't like his antics. He did blow the clothes, but 20 years ago, I'd smash. Earl Grey was a G though. Breezy says Camille would terrify me on cross. A small, attractive woman that sounds innocent but will tear you to fucking shreds. Again, it's terrifying. Yep.
How do you think she should handle the cross? Aggressive or gentle?
No, I think she should be gentle because I think Amber Heard is going to be triggered. Amber Heard hates other attractive women. They even got the testimony that she got mad at the post-nut attorney because it was a female. And I guarantee you she was probably at least slightly mildly attractive because that I know girls like Amber, they get triggered by that. They see everybody as a threat. Everybody's coming for them. And they just attack because she wants control. And anybody else that can exercise control is a threat to them, and they can't tolerate those type of threats, right?
So you think she should go in calm and lead her down the path?
Let Amber freak the fuck out.
See, I was thinking that maybe if she digs in hard and triggers her fast and gets her combative, and then backs off a little bit.
I think she's going to trigger. I think Amber Heard's going to get triggered no matter what. She's going to get defensive, like no matter what. Like if Johnny Depp a non-aggressive guy can trigger her like that, I think a small Latina can do it, asking her the right questions. Because Amber Heard can't say, "You're killing me. You're literally killing me right now" on the stand. She can't do that. She's going to flip out. And, it's going to take more than the cocaine / crying agent that she snorted to get her out of that,
Crying agent.
Yeah, there's the whole debate what it was, but I will believe it was something to help her cry because she needed to get a tear. And that day was the same day where she had all those photo ops, where she had the crying photo op, right? Where she held the pose, looked over, looked back, right?
Yeah. Oh. And the scary one. Oh my God, he's coming at me when they went to the afternoon break.
Yep. Influences says there's probably a reason why Charlie Harder isn't repping her now. Yes, because she probably wanted an angle and wanted to do something that he was like, I'm not going to ruin my reputation for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to just tank things for you. You're not worth it, Amber. You're not paying me enough for that shit.
Well, and it could. I mean, who knows? Because we're not there. But I mean, everybody thinks that lawyers will just say anything their clients want them to. We can't do that. If we know someone is telling a bullshit lie, we cannot repeat that. We can't elicit that testimony. We cannot let them lie. We cannot lie.
That's a duty of candor to the court. Some attorneys forget that. I take that responsibility seriously. And I know a lot of other ethical lawyers do, but there are some lawyers, some lawyers won't, but most lawyers do. And every lawyer should. We're ethically bound to do so.
When I was doing my third, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say we saw lawyers lie to the court, though. We saw it in the Potter trial. We saw it in Rittenhouse, certainly in Rittenhouse, just out and out lies. I mean, Binger and Krause are now key words for lying to the court. And we're starting to see that in this trial as well, with attorneys that are just literally misrepresenting the truth. I mean, we even saw it with the Amica cream. It's like this product wasn't even on the market, people.
Yeah.
Wasn't even on the market.
Well, that was one thing that when I was doing my third year of practice at the public defender's office in Salt Lake City, my supervising lawyer, he said, never, ever, ever ask your client if they're guilty. I mean, you're at the public defender's office. 99% of them are guilty. Yeah. As long as they don't look at you and say, I did it, you can believe they didn't do it. But as soon as they admit to doing it, you're done.
That's it. It's over. It's over. Yeah.
So maybe that was part of it. Maybe he just knew she was full of shit and couldn't represent her in good faith on the stand.
Very true. Very true. Now, of course, Charles Harder was, I think, the PR agent, not a lawyer. But I mean, there's still ethical.
Oh, okay. That was the.
But once again, no. But it's still true. There's still ethical. There's still ethical lines. Brian has an unrelated question. Says he's starting 1L this fall and be commuting from Tampa to Orlando for it. Are you going to Barry wait, I mean, Barry's the only one in Orlando, so I'm probably going to Barry. Is it unwise to do that daily commute for the first year? Yes, Brian.
It's unwise to go to law school.
I lived in Orlando. I lived in that's also true. Let me give you the skinny here, man. I lived in Orlando. I lived by Lake Eola, downtown Orlando, hanging out there, meeting the UCF girls, having a good time, the Disney girls. It was a very good time. And I love Orlando. The cost of living in Tampa and Orlando are very comparable. Move to Orlando. I don't know why you're going to stay in Tampa. I know if you're trying to save money, whatever, but the amount of time, the lack of studying, if you want to really focus, you need to be in Orlando. You're going to miss out on networking opportunities. You're going to be trying to go home early. That is a long drive. And when you're tired, when you're done with a day of lectures, you do not want to be driving 2 hours home to Tampa. And unless you're talking about Tampa being Lakeland, even then I wouldn't drive all the way to Lakeland, and that's halfway to Tampa. I would not advise that, bro, unless you have a very solid plan. I just would not do that. Most people that I know that have to commute like that, they have 2 apartments. That's the level that they're at.
Especially if you have a family or something like that you've got to get home to.
Yeah. Yeah. And Nerd is saying, yeah, he lives in Orlando. Traffic is hell. Yeah. I mean, I-4 is a nightmare, guys. It's a nightmare. All right. So we had that destruction by Camille. And once again, guys, if you guys have anything you want us to review, shoot it over, send it to my Twitter. My Twitter is @TheLegalMindset, right? so you guys can send something over to my Twitter. I'm going to put that in the chat for you guys. So you guys have that if you want anything you want to throw that up there. But we're going to go over the last 30 minutes or so of Amber's testimony, which is particularly bad, particularly horrible, and just rip this up, guys. So here we go. I will end up pausing this and minimizing.
And this is day one. This is her first day on the stand.
First day of testimony, last 30 minutes. This is particularly god awful.
In June 2013, how were you feeling about your relationship with Mr. Depp?
May we have the exhibit taken away from? Thank you.
They didn't even give him the exhibit. This is amateur hour.
By June, I was so torn. I was so in love with this person.
So in love.
Because when it was good, it was so good.
So good.
Frowny face.
Not like that. At least that's how it felt.
Never.
So much. I felt like he recognized me and I recognized him, and there was just something there that was the love of my life.
Mm-hmm.
This is the closest she's been to real tears.
And he was.
But to me, okay, let me go to the chat here for a second. Let's pause this for 1 second. Chat. R's in the chat. Put an R in the chat if you believe that was real. F in the chat if that was fake. I want to see if you guys think, do you think just that part, not the whole thing, just that part? Did she sell that? Did she sell that? R's in the chat if you think she sold it, if it was real. F in the chat if it was fake. I just want to see you guys here. Oh, we got one R. So
okay.
JC said R. Okay. But the vast majority here I'm seeing are automatic Fs. Bro, oh my God. My screen just jumped with Fs. Like literally, holy shit.
I think the sentiment is real. I think she loved him. I think she saw him as her. This is one thing that really changed my mind against her. This seems like she was. She didn't cry. She tried desperately to cry, but I think this was the closest she came to actual real tears because she loved him, wanted his money, she wanted the benefits, and then she lost it, and she's pissed. And as this testimony goes on, she gets
hold on
angry.
But Jeff, you're saying that she's pissed because she lost the money, not because she loved him.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, guys, the Fs win. The Fs win. I'm sorry, you're good.
Yeah, it
you're
seems
good,
that way.
The Fs.
Well, there's another R.
There's like two R's, but I think
that's not a real R. Tears of remembrance because Johnny has a big wee. That's not a real R.
That's not a real R. That's not a real R, guys. That does not count.
There's only one
not
R.
Count, guys. I do think, but I can say she might be upset because she lost out on the opportunity she had, and now she's fucked. And even Lauren says, I agree, she misses the lifestyle. I'm thinking that right now, if she thinks about it, would you rather be with Johnny Depp or would you rather be in court being exposed for the lying 304 that you are?
And watch this as this testimony goes on for the next couple of minutes. Because this one, she gets angrier and angrier that she had to take care of him. She had to do this for him when he was a drug addict. Everybody did this. Nobody stopped him. I'm pissed off that nobody took care of me. And then he left me. And now my career's in the shitter and I'm going to get revenge. And she makes this bullshit story up.
Good point.
This is where it comes together for me.
There's a lot of sketchy stuff about her. So, Chaucerian said, do you remember how she became famous in Hollywood for being a lipstick lesbian? And then she was married to a dude. And then Trisha brought up she was jumping in bed with too many people. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. And Johnny was susceptible to this as well. And Johnny's dating history, he told a lot of people, and I went through this in an earlier stream, Johnny would tell people he loved them very quickly. He was very quick to say, I love you, right?
That's just beta male seeking mommy's approval shit there.
Marry me. I love you. So you have two people, and I was talking about this earlier today, and in my Twitter, I had a conversation about this as well. I think both of them are trying to like heal or fix relationships. I think Amber was trying to please her dad and like fix that like dad relationship she had with her dad, who was always trying to make her into a boy, right? You know, sending her out there to break horses and be rough and tough and all that. And Johnny had a terrible relationship with his mother, who was horribly abusive to him, who literally at her funeral said she was the worst person he ever knew. And so they both had childhood traumas that I think they're trying to heal through their adult relationships.
I completely agree with that. And I thought it was really strange that they brought up the horse breaking as some sort of character building at the beginning. I mean, on Cross, I want to hear, wasn't your job was to break and trash and defeat the spirit of every animal you came in contact with? And how does that play over into your role with Johnny Depp?
Yeah. And by the way, I don't think, this is taking the question, do you believe abuse from a parent makes you be able? I don't think so at all. No, not at all. That's totally separate, right? The abuse is abuse, right? And you can be, that's not an alpha or beta thing. It's what you do with it from there, right? So the whole thing is, do you take responsibility for it and try to work your best to change it? And look, we're all limited, right? Sometimes our childhood experiences are going to permanently change us and there's little we can do. But do we take ownership and responsibility, or do we defer that? Do we understand our weaknesses and try to strengthen those up or try to, mitigate those? Or do we just let them control us? And I think that's where we kind of start separating out here. So let's go over and let's continue with this testimony, this lovely performance.
He was, but he was also this other thing.
This other thing?
He was also this other thing.
She's stuck in the Matrix glitch.
And that other thing was awful.
Awful
thing that would come out and
making him into the monster.
Take over, and it was, you couldn't see the Johnny I loved underneath it. It was this other thing. And no one told him. No one was honest with him. No one, he'd pass out in his own vomit. He'd lose control of his.
Okay, let me be real. That's real talk. Chat, real talk too. Okay. Who out there has not vomited? Thou who has not vomited, let you cast the first stone. Right? If you're with a loved one and they're going through a physical trauma, even if they're hungover, right? They're drunk or they're going home, they're drunk, they drank too much. If my girlfriend is vomiting in the toilet, there's two options. Do you go and help her, get her some water, help her out? Well, actually, three options. Get her some water, help her out, maybe hold her hair back, get her a hair tie, right? Do you ignore her and just go to bed? Or option C, or maybe I should call it option H for Amber Heard. Do you start recording them and berating them?
Me personally, I hold the hair, record it, and make fun of them the next day.
Okay, that's like a combination.
But in a funny way, like, check this out, remember this? But not in the, I'm building.
God damn it, Jeff. That's also the right answer, though. That's a good one.
Johnny, he'd lose control, and everyone would clean up after him. I cleaned up after him. I mean, this man lost control of his bowels, and I cleaned up after him.
She gets no thanks.
First of all, I highly doubt that. I really do highly doubt that.
Especially if she doesn't clean up after herself on the bed.
Exactly. She's going to leave an Amber turd on the bed and she's going to say she cleaned up after him.
But see, this is just so much like, I've had to clean up after him. I've had to do this. Where's my thanks? He left me. That was the thanks I get.
I think she's confusing Johnny Depp for the Yorkies.
His security cleaned up after him, changed his pants in front of me. He would pass out in his own sick.
Who says that?
Nobody.
And then he'd walk around saying he didn't have a problem. Until he did. Until he couldn't support it anymore, and he'd get clean and he'd get sober, and then he was this thing again. this thing that made me feel so loved. that
This
made
is
me
a
feel-
fucking script.
Totally.
I mean, I literally see this as a Lifetime movie.
Outside of a bad British novel or a trashy TV series, have you ever heard anyone out in the wild say he fell asleep in his own sick?
Nobody says that.
Never.
Nobody says that. Nobody says that.
Like,
I can't remember what to say.
Like my soulmate, as cheesy as that sounds, I just felt like he knew me.
After you knew each other for like 1 fucking year, max.
Well, see, that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize is this whole 2.5 hour conversation. And if that was the last video that I just spent a couple of days doing, was clipping every time these things. I said I hit her, he hit me, he hit me. A good third of that, I mean, easily a couple of dozens of episodes happened before they got married,
which is insane. So you're
not
saying
a lot happened after they got married. It was all before they got married because the marriage lasted like a third of the time that their dating life did, which was short.
So you're saying you decided to get married to somebody who's beating you. Yeah. I mean, yes, it does happen. I'm not saying that's impossible, but I'm saying that in an Amber Heard situation where it's as bad as she's saying, pummeling,
flinging her around the room by her hair,
dragging her through glass with miraculously no cuts, and she's able to dance the next day. It just
the blood pressure's going up.
Some part of my makeup and my background or something that I just got it. And I loved him and understood him. It just got so scary, the other part of him. And in June, I wanted to leave him. I didn't want to leave him. I wanted to want to leave him. I wanted to want to leave.
What the fuck is that?
And he expressed to me so many times when he was in that period of getting clean and sober, he would tell me, "You saved my life. Baby girl, you saved my life." Everyone else was saying that to me, and I believed it.
Baby girl, huh?
It's the savior complex.
Everyone else was saying it. He was saying it.
But actually, okay, let me talk about this real quick. I actually think it's Johnny Depp who has the savior complex, not Amber Heard. I actually think that Johnny Depp is the one who wanted to save Amber Heard, not vice versa. I don't think that she ever had an intent to save Johnny Depp, because I think she's reading all of her own actions back on Johnny. She's like inverting their relationship. Like, she abused Johnny Depp, so she's making herself into the victim. She's the one who needs saving. Johnny Depp was the one who tried to save her. So she's inverting everything.
Okay.
You know, to me, I mean, it comes off that way. Amber is everything, Kat says. Amber is everything Dr. Curry said she is. All of those diagnoses. I don't see how they're wrong. Where's the lie? I haven't found it yet, Kat. I have not found that yet. Jackie says, Elaine never asked Amber about her childhood. Totally skipped that part of her life.
Well, there was a little bit at the beginning, but the horse breaking said, "What was your job?" She said, "My job was to fall off and get back on and not show pain." That was all they said about her childhood.
That's not a good sign.
No, it's not.
That's not a good thing.
Her dad taught her to be a punching bag and take it.
Yeah, I mean, actually, according to the APA, that's toxic masculinity, because stoicism is now toxic masculinity and is now a negative thing. So yeah, I can see why they took that over there. Somebody says to disagree. It says, legal minds, I disagree. I think he was gaslighted to think he was saving her. Okay, well, the end result is the same though, right? So I disagree with you, but we can have a respectful disagreement here. But the end result is the same: is that he was trying to do it, regardless of whether he was gaslighted into it or not. He was trying to do it. And Juan says the audio recordings support the thoughts here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there's audio recordings. I've played those in other streams. So I'm not going to do it again here because I've already done it, but there's audio that backs this up. that he was trying to save her and help her.
And to digress, someone a minute ago said, "Where's the bar? Light up a cigar." The bar's back there, and the cigar humidor is right there. So
I see it. I see the humidor.
I didn't want to light a cigar on someone else's stream. But.
Next time you can light the cigar. We'll allow it. Next time's the cigar. I think it'll be after the Amber Heard cross, because that's going to be some cigar worthy. Yeah. That's going to be some cigar worthy moments after the Amber Heard cross.
Crushing.
It needs to be. Camille needs to fucking execute this girl because she deserves it, because she's a liar. All right, let's continue.
Just like his other friends who had gotten clean and sober and stayed that way, his older friends, these rock stars that he hung out with that had like gotten clean and sober and they had 20, 30 years, something, I thought, and Johnny told me he would be that person, that he was going to be that person. And I believed it. I had so much, I looked at that man twice my age. I was
He's a groomer.
25.
Yeah. She tries to make that an issue. It's not.
And
you're a fucking adult.
Promise, I had so much hope. The whole thing. Kids and growing old together, sort of hope.
She doesn't even say that. She didn't say that kids and growing old. She doesn't say that with any conviction at all.
If it was just for this one thing that he could do, which would save his life, which would be to get clean and sober.
Women do not try to change a man. Man do not try to change a woman.
Many letters to myself.
Yeah, exactly. I always use the metaphor of, for me in my relationships and the best situation is I'm on a train. We're in Korea, right? So let's use the KTX, the Korean Express train, right? I'm on an express train from Seoul to Busan, where Jeff lives, right? The train is going there.
It's full of zombies.
It's full of zombies as well, which might be why you're trying to get off of it. But it's going there. I'm on that train to Busan. And if you want to get on, that's cool. If you don't want on, that's also cool. You want to go a different direction, that's cool. But if we end up going a separate way, let's go separate ways. You just wait till the next station, you get off. I wish you good luck and you go about your way. There's no issue here. People like Amber, it's all or nothing. She either can have
who I am.
Yep.
That's why you like me, because I'm this wild and crazy drug dealing, alcoholic, high life living guy. That's why you like me. And then you want to mold me into someone different. That's when I had my personal red pill moment. After I got my divorce from, I'd say about a 25% Amber Heard, and I got into this relationship. I'd been programmed for 16 years to think I wasn't worth it. I wasn't worthy,
Yep.
And then I got into this relationship, and I spent the next 4 years of my life in this rebound relationship doing everything oh, you want me to change this? Okay, I'll change this. I'll do this for you. I'll do this for you. And then 5 years later, when it was like, okay, are we going to get married or not? She said, there's still more things I don't like about you than I do like about you.
There's never enough.
The red pill went down. I swallowed the red pill and the fucking matrix was open. And that was the end of this shit. You know who I am. You know who I was. Don't try to change me. If you want someone different, fucking find someone different.
Well, when you get with somebody, they are who they are. Right? Don't expect them to change from who they are. Man or woman, goes both genders, guys. Like the people are who they are. If you are happy with the person they are, awesome.
And don't try to save them, because you can't. They are the only people that
cannot save them. They don't want to be saved. Right?
And I seriously hope at the end of all of this, Johnny looks at this trial and goes, yeah, I fucking need to chill out a little bit. And it does some good for him.
I hope it does good for him and good for men everywhere and women everywhere. People engaging in relationships, I hope they're more thoughtful about them. And I hope they try to avoid people like Amber Heard. I hope there's positive that comes from this. I truly do. I really do.
And the positive thing is get a prenup. Everybody get a prenup. You don't have anything now, but you will later.
Nup. And let me just be real clear too. A post-nup is not a thing. Like that is not a thing. Nobody signs a post-nup. That's a joke that he even tried to get her to sign a post-nup at that point. That's like laughable. She already shot down the prenup. She's not going to say yes to a post-nup. She's already won. Why would she concede when she's already won? That's ridiculous. Prenup, prenup, or set up your finances so you've got things set up in a way in which everything is actually physically separate, possibly in different countries and outside the reach of.
I just got up over 300. Oh, thanks everybody.
Hey,
I tripled tonight.
Thank you guys, everybody.
Tripled my
Jeff,
subscribers.
Legal Vices, his channel. You can subscribe there. I know he's going to be covering this stuff as well, and he's a great homeboy here in Korea. So it's always good to have compatriots here.
And you guys are awesome.
These guys are awesome because you were part of them, Jeff. I mean, you've been a part of the chat. You've been supporting me. So thank you guys. Jeff is one of you guys. He's a man of the people. So I appreciate having him on.
All she did was refer to that she wrote it. She isn't saying what she said.
I'll rule for that.
She's not saying what she said.
I wrote that letter because I thought it would be read to him. I could read it to him. I could say it to him in intervention, in help. And he would
One
later
down.
thank me.
Confession time. My bottle's empty.
As he did. As he used to thank me
Going
all
for
the
two.
time for saving his life.
And saving his life.
Did there come a time later in June that you finally met Johnny's kids?
Sorry.
You should be.
Yeah, I finally met them in the summer of 2013.
I met them in
I
the
had been
summer.
with Johnny for over a year, maybe like a year and a half at this point, is my best guess.
A year to a year and a half.
All of this shit has happened in 18 months.
These kids, I felt like I knew them
Max.
already. I had his daughters, and Jack's, both of his kids' art on my fridge, and I had never even met them. Johnny had brought them over one day and kindly given them to me, and I had them up on my fridge because I felt like I knew them, just how much he talked about them.
And she's not even smiling when she says that.
Yeah, she doesn't give a
the
fuck
Lone
about
Ranger
them.
premiere.
I mean, other women's children? You think Amber Heard is going to care about that?
He doesn't seem to be very maternal.
Not at all. And for somebody else's children, for Johnny Depp's children, I wouldn't trust her alone with them for 5 seconds.
Not a chance.
Summer 2013.
So then
Line.
Jump to, and it's not much of a jump, to June 26, 2013.
This is a year and a half before they got married.
Flight to Russia with Johnny. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Tell the jury about that.
They went to Russia.
And this Russia shit is new. This has never been mentioned before, ever. Up
New
until
Russia
now.
trip. We met Putin. We discussed invasion of Ukraine.
First and last time I ever decided it would be a decent idea to do drugs with Johnny.
Okay, hold on, guys. Okay, poll for the chat. D, if you think that was the only time that Amber did drugs with Johnny. T's in the chat. T for turds in the chat. If you think she was doing drugs all the time with or without Johnny.
No, have you
D's
noticed
if it was the only one?
She differentiates. She talks about doing she talks about doing mushrooms. Those aren't drugs to her. The happy little huggy, I want to suck on a pacifier shit aren't drugs to her.
Shout out to my boy Max over there in Japan. Tracy Laney. It is T's. Guys, T's have it, guys. No one believes this shit. No one believes that this is the only time that Amber Heard did drugs with Johnny Depp. Ain't nobody believing that bullshit.
Yeah, but her weed, mushrooms, those aren't drugs to her.
Those aren't
like daily vitamins.
Those aren't. Also, Rachel, yes, the sniffing video can be brought to the judge's attention, right? They can always bring stuff to judicial notice. The attorneys can always, contact the judge and say, hey, it seems like, they can just say this. They can say, hey, it seems like she was inhaling something on the stand. Can you talk to her about that? They don't have to say it was drugs or anything. They just say, hey, it looks like she was sniffing something.
Moriarty, cocaine isn't a drug to Amber. It's mother's milk.
Oh my God. Bailey says, I'm fully prepared for the herd cross to miss. None of the audio video out there prove Heard is lying, and they're not exhibits, not even the Corden show.
Wow.
Hold on. No, she's trying to say that none of the video proves Heard is lying. Bailey, are you a team turd here? I mean, what's going on? I think there's definitely video and audio. There's definitely audio. The Australia audio proves that she was 100% lying about her narrative. Her narrative was completely different than the Australia audio, in which the doctor's there, nurses there, everyone's in that audio. That proves she was lying. So I don't know what you're talking about.
In this case,
she
only has to prove that there is one incident of domestic violence. If she can prove there was one incidence of violence, then it's not libel. But she takes pictures of everything. She takes pictures of like Johnny Depp asleep in various places around the world, a broken ping pong table, the floor, mirrors, broken glass. There's no pictures of her with her feet sliced to ribbons from being drugged through glass and slipping on glass. She said her forearms were shredded. There's no pictures of, no paparazzi pictures, no personal pictures. There's no pictures of her with the bruising. The 2 bruises pictures she's got are exactly where you would put the Botox injections. And I know that because I dated a plastic surgeon for a bit.
Well, that's big in Korea.
Yeah, and everybody's probably dated a plastic surgeon here.
Yeah,
but like right at the hairline is where they put the Botox injection, so you don't see the bruising on the forehead. And she takes pictures of everything, but there's no pictures of all these horrific things she said happened to her. Not one. There's one bruised picture, a bruised arm that's about 4 or 5 days old by looking at it, starting to yellow a bit. There's no evidence to support that she was the victim of a DV situation.
None. Zero.
No witnesses. She better have some fucking amazing witnesses lined up.
We also haven't seen the mega jar of Coke. I want to see it. I want to see the evidence. I want to see it brought out.
How do you know it's Coke? Yeah. I had the backup bottle just in case.
No public business. Yeah. The backup to the maker's bottle. Yeah. All right, guys, let's continue with this rodeo here, with the Amber Turd rodeo.
MDMA did MDMA with him on the plane, which was as stupid as it may sound.
That sounds pretty fun.
I just I was very against. Obviously, the cocaine had been a problem. I was very much against him using cocaine. Bullshit. I was against the drinking, supportive of the sobriety. But
bullshit.
I'm 26, maybe, ish. And
she's 26. You don't know your own age?
Ish.
I've never heard of anyone making MDMA like what I had.
Bullshit. You're 26, you live in LA, and you don't know about MDMA?
On Hollywood Boulevard, for fuck's sakes?
I am calling bullshit. I'm
walk across the street to the Whiskey A Go-Go, bitch.
Exactly. I lived in LA for 6 months. I had a Persian girlfriend. She lived in the Valley. She lived in Porter Ranch, right? Great time for a couple months. But then LA was too much. But everybody in LA did copious amounts of drugs that I was running around with. And these people were like one step to Kevin Bacon, to Amber Heard's and the Hollywood celebrities, et cetera, of the world. And if they're doing drugs, the Hollywood celebs are doing excess of drugs.
Their hotel, their house, their penthouses were on Hollywood Boulevard. That's in the middle of this shit.
The middle of the debauchery. There's no way you're convincing me you're sober, Amber. Sorry.
The Rainbow Lounge, Whiskey A Go-Go, that's all right there.
Not going to buy it.
Not for a... Where was the club that River Phoenix had? Where was that?
That was the one that Johnny Depp owned.
Yeah,
Johnny Depp owned that. What was it called? The Viper Room.
The Viper Club. The Viper Room.
I'm not sure where it is. We can look that up. I can look that up real quick, but I'm sure it was in the thick of it.
Done MDMA before, I thought it's a lovey drug.
She's saying, hold on. She is saying at 26 years old, she's never done MDMA before with X before.
Zero belief.
Bullshit.
It's on the Sunset Strip. The Viper Club was on the Sunset Strip, just off Hollywood Boulevard.
Okay,
Bullshit,
yeah,
woman.
bullshit. Bullshit.
You know, it's like I never knew anyone to get violent on it.
Because people don't.
And
oh yeah, Benita Smith says it's not a grab bruise. Trust me, I've been. Yeah, it was a big round bruise. It wasn't a finger bruise.
Maybe this would be different. Maybe I can be a good cop and be part of the. You know, like I don't have to be the lesbian counselor all the time.
Okay, guys, real quick. L's in the chat for lesbian camp counselors. Okay. L's in the chat for the lesbian camp counselors of the world. L's in the chat. Okay. Busha says Turd was prescribed Seroquel. Amber Turd said she was on hallucinogens, Adderall, Xanax, ecstasy, and coke the night of Australia. The tapes exist on YouTube. Yes, we've got those tapes. We've reviewed them. I've listened to them. You are right there, Busha. She said she was on it. Yes, she said she was on hallucinogens, Adderall, ecstasy, coke.
That's a hell of a cocktail.
She admits it. So already she's in a lie. So earlier when they're saying, oh, there's no proof that she was lying. There you go. There's one. And that's a big one.
Well, again, it's like she doesn't equate the ecstasy, with being a drug.
Hold on. Here's the point. Bailey says, I'm 100% Team Johnny, but the Aussie audio is not an exhibit. That is true. You have a fair point there. None of the damning audio is check the Fairfax court does not pop out. They could still enter it into evidence. It's possible.
And I wonder why it wasn't.
It's very interesting why it wasn't. It's not impossible. But yeah, it said the judge, I guess it said full audio won't come in, judge is on it. That's a big issue. Why it's not coming in. Because it needs to come in. Probably looks bad.
But there's nobody else on that audio, if I recall. It's just the two. Yeah. No, I think it's because the
nurse is on there.
Things. Yeah,
and there's the guy who's deceased. Yeah. There's the guy who's deceased who's on.
Oh, and that's the other thing. For God's sake, she mentions a couple of times that there was a witness to the abuse. Like when it was her sister being pushed down the stairs, allegedly, and another time there was one witness to that. And that was the Jerry Judge guy who conveniently fucking died in 2019.
Yes, Jerry Judge conveniently died.
He is the only one she's mentioned as being a witness to two specific incidences of abuse.
Shout out to Max, my boy in Tokyo here. He says, has the creepy alleged essay passed of Amber Heard's new PR firm head been discussed yet? Search David Shane and creepy. He also repped the firm that ripped off Johnny Depp.
Yeah, I know there was the anti-JD bit before, but I don't know what the creepy part is.
Yeah, I'm Googling that right now because I trust Max. Okay. I'll look this up real quick while I'm getting the next super chat, which is arm picture, outdated iPhone. She's with Depp. Yeah, that's what I think what someone was saying is there's metadata showing that the pictures have been tampered with. That they've been.
Well, and now they haven't turned over any of the metadata, if I recall correctly.
That's problematic.
Hugely.
And by the way, L's in the chat for the lesbian camp counselor. Lots of L's here in the chat for lesbian camp counselor. She's definitely the lipstick lesbian.
That didn't make me go to camp.
Come on.
You've admitted it yourself. You would smash and dance.
No. We did. No. Let's be fair. It was a smash, marry, yeet, and the choices were Amber Heard, Casey Anthony, and Meghan Markle.
So you're just saying because of the limited pool you had to choose.
I had a pool of 3, right? And you can't choose to yeet all of them because that is a secondary correct answer, right? But it was because what would your answer be? Meghan, Casey Anthony, and Amber Heard.
I would
marry, yeet.
I would yeet Anthony, just because that's objectively dangerous. I smash Amber, and I would marry Markle.
You agreed to? Okay, get out of here. Hypocrisy. All right. Alex B. Alex B says Amber Heard talks about multiple cuddle parties with her girlfriends where they do MDMA, shrooms, LSD, weed. Yup.
This is something weird I just discovered the other day.
The puppy piles.
This cuddle party shit.
They're called cuddle puddles, puppy parties. I mean, it's.
I saw this sent me down this rabbit hole. I saw some TikTok of some woman. It was the guy that like checks out everybody's supercars and things. Guy runs up on this dude that's driving this $500,000 Ferrari and says, "Cool car. What do you do for a living?" She's a cuddle partner. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. So cuddle parties, man. Rock on. Jesus.
Very, very, very interesting.
Downside of living in Korea, you miss some of this shit.
Yeah, you do. We do miss some of this stuff. Hazel Eye Girl says Jerry Judge is the audio from Australia, so they can't use it since he's passed away. Yeah. Now here's the thing. There are exceptions, evidentiary exceptions, to allow in testimony that involves deceased persons. Clearly, the judge, or rather, Amber, maybe Johnny's team didn't make a convincing enough argument. Maybe they weren't able to redact the evidence. Whatever it was, they didn't do a good enough job with that. They should have at least got in the most damning part of that is between the doctor and the nurse, both of whom testified. They should have clipped it and got that in. That is a damn shame that they weren't able to get in the part that was there. Tortheo says, could they have left the recording for cross rebuttal? They haven't entered into evidence. At this point, I mean, they would need to have a door opened. And maybe Amber Heard opens a door for it. Maybe she has opened a door. We don't know. We're not on cross yet. So we don't know what doors that she's opened and what they try for. It's possible. It's not impossible.
Unlikely, but not impossible.
It's unlikely, but not impossible. I work for Red Bull and have taken a can to the face. Man, shout out to my boy working for Red Bull. Taking a can to the face once or twice. Sorry. Amber Heard throwing one at Johnny Caduceus. True. And there's the point. Just a can. She threw a bottle, not a can. A metal can can do some damage. Shit. If I wanted to, I could fuck someone up with this plastic bottle if I wanted to, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, a can could. A handle, a bottle certainly could. Without a doubt. Okay, so I pulled up. This creepy stuff here. Let me show Twitter. So this is this guy David Shane. So apparently this is a screenshot that she shared to the Facebook group. I met this man on the dating app Raya. He took me out on 2 dates, then tried to take complete advantage of me in his condo in West Hollywood. He basically insinuated that I owed him for the dates he brought me on. When I said no to most of the things he asked me to do, he kicked me out. His name is David Shane. He seems to be someone who does a lot to women on the app. Let me continue with this.
Okay, so far I can't fault him.
I mean, he didn't do anything yet, but I get what he's saying. He's aggressive. Yeah. Okay. Well, I took you to Nobu. See, this is the beta. The guys, this is the different than the beta mindset. They're so fixated on this thing, versus being outcome independent. This is like true beta behavior.
Yeah, you're right there. Yeah.
She told me on the second date, he was noticeably rushing through their dinner, drinking just as heavily, but appeared more agitated in a hurry. After dinner, when she agreed to go back to his condo, he became aggressive towards her and initiating sex, insinuating that she owed it to him because of 2 luxurious dinners he paid for. She said at one point when they were sitting on his couch, he even grabbed her head and pushed it forcibly down into the lap. When she resisted, he got mad and told her he would just call her a fucking Uber. Yeah, that's beta rage right there. That reaction is beta rage.
Yeah, I mean, if you've had the few dates and you come back, you're asking, look, we're back in my house. Are we going to smash or are you going to hit the road? That's different than going, you owe me because I bought you dinner.
Right.
That's much different.
There's a big difference between saying, like, for example, if I'm going out with a girl and we're on like date number, like 4, 5, 6, and it's like, all right, are we going to do this or not? Like, and if it comes down to a point where I feel like, okay, we're at that comfort level, this should be a thing we're doing, and we're not. Like, you're playing games here, right? You're like, I'm an adult, we're an adult. We both know what we want out of this. Like, let's be adults about this and go. No, I'm not. But also, here's the thing: outcome independent. I don't care whether they go or stay.
Yeah.
If they go, I wish them goodbye. In fact, if people ask me things about them, I'll say nice things about them. I'll be like, they were a very attractive, person. We just are on two different levels. Maybe we have different sex drives. Maybe you have a higher sex drive.
Yeah.
That's perfectly normal. There's no problem with that. That's normal. That's part of dating, right? You go with people, you figure out whether they like it or not. That's outcome independent.
And this is very outcome dependent.
Dependent.
Absolutely.
Dependent.
Yeah.
Needy behavior. This is needy behavior. So yeah, this is her new PR guy. Interesting.
Yes, like I told you when I was dating Moscow #1. There's a Moscow #2.
Oh, now there's a Moscow #2. Okay.
Yeah, the one she lives like 200 meters from my house. It's awesome.
Привет.
Yeah, well, it's like it's the outcome independent. I don't care if you're here or not. If you're here, great. If you fine. If not, go away. So I don't expect anything, but I'm not going to reject anything, and I'll accept anything. It's the first time Moscow #1 came to the house, I said that was the best thing I ever heard. 4:30 in the morning, she said, "Oh, I got to go home and drop the car off to the husband so I can go meet my boyfriend." I'm like, I know where I stand. You know where you stand. Smash you later, babe.
Smash you later.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's keep going.
Say, I could maybe be the fun girlfriend.
That reminds me of the clip from Gone Girl where she's like, I was the cool girl, the down girl, the girl who gave you the BJs, like it's like, oh my God, get out of here.
Fun girlfriend.
The way that was not happening.
Not at all.
So what happened?
What happened?
We took MDMA. I took a capsule. It's like a powder in a capsule. I took a capsule and Johnny took several. I didn't count, but it's very different when you see someone take one versus a handful of something. But nothing seemed to set any alarm bells off, and things were going fine until the flight attendant got involved. The flight attendant came by, engaging with us. I don't think that they're really. It felt like it was before the effects of the drug took over. It was relatively quick, soon after we first took our dose, if you can say. And the flight attendant, Johnny offered her some. She of course said no. And then after some back and forth.
That's just common courtesy, I mean, at a certain point, it's like, well, ma'am, I can see Johnny does too. Well, ma'am, would you like to try this? It's like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah, we're violating every AA regulation.
Yeah.
Want to join in?
What is it? Or It's Always Sunny. Can I offer you an egg in this trying time? It's like, can I offer you some MDMA in this trying time? I appreciate that.
I convinced her that it would be fine. So
What a weak-willed stewardess.
Yes, and took
Air waitress.
MDMA with.
Did you just hear that, Jeff?
Yeah, the air waitress did the MDMA.
She eventually acquiesced and did MDMA with them.
Yes.
And within a few minutes go by, and the same thing happened that happened on the mushrooms at Hicksville with the woman Kelly.
This might say, like, do you know how much pressure it takes to break a wrist? Thing?
Got friendly with me, but just friendly, just like MDMA friendly. Was
MDMA friendly.
I'm a woman, he's a man, so she was naturally, I think, more comfortable with me physically. She kind of leaned into me and kind of sat on the arm of the chair I was sitting in. I mean, after all, she's on drugs, and Johnny.
So are you.
After all, she's on drugs.
And tells her not to touch me, and she kind of reacts in a way like she's defending herself and trying to clarify. And he grabbed her by the wrist and slammed it down on the table and told her he could break her wrist. And
hold on.
I've heard this before, and that was a pattern that would repeat itself.
Okay, so let's stop here. Let's stop here for a second. Okay,
huge stop.
Huge stop, guys. Huge stop. I am a corporate counsel. I represented not airlines but transportation companies, hospitality industry, many different companies. I'm going to tell you something right now. As a person who has, and I've talked to people who represent airlines. I know people who represent airlines. If this shit happened, if a passenger laid their hands on a flight attendant and threatened to break their arm or wrist, it is over. Number one, you're probably on a no-fly list. I don't care if you're a fucking celebrity or not. Number two, that's a fucking federal crime. Number three,
so over.
The lawsuit would come in 2 seconds flat, and they would settle for being such a bad look. That is such a lie, a manifest lie, that it just blows my mind how somebody can try to lie like that.
Oh, I mean,
It's
that's
insane.
that is a horrible. I mean, everything you said. Plus, where is this air waitress as a witness? Where is she? Every single stewardess that gets on any plane,
She's
public
in
or
Russia,
private,
right?
has a manifest. They sign in on the manifest. You can easily identify who she was and all of her information. Where is she as a witness in this case to corroborate this bullshit testimony? She's not on the witness list.
She's not. She's not.
I mean, Jesus Christ, can you imagine if you grabbed a waitress and threatened to break her fucking wrist after drugging her up?
I mean, that alone would bankrupt Johnny Depp.
You would never see the light of day to be bankrupted. You would.
After that, that's it. Forget Me Too. It's over after that one. Helena says she can do a dozen different drugs, but he's not allowed. That's the power and control. The power and controls. She's allowed to do it. Rules for Rules for thee, not for me.
And she was trained to do that from a young age, to be a horse breaker, and he was conditioned to accept that as a child of an abusive parentage situation.
Exactly. She knew what she was doing, guys. She knew exactly what she was doing. All right, let's get back to it.
Times these things would happen in these kind of cycles where there'd be a certain element that would get filtered for a while, whether it's an accusation or a gesture, and that would be the thing that he looped on. I called it loop.
Are you drinking makgeolli out of a brandy glass?
And
I don't have a fucking makgeolli glass, okay?
Break her wrist.
You can give me one.
She
Okay, I will.
cries instantly, denies it.
Sure you have
is so apologetic. Eventually he lets go. She goes to the front of the plane where the flight attendant, normally hangs out, and the doors close, and I don't see her much of that whole flight.
Yeah, because she'd be on the phone to the cops.
We land in.
Yeah, she'd be on phone to the feds or the Russian
Marshals,
feds,
yeah.
which fuck around even less than America, and they'd be like, "Privyet, come with us to Gulag. You will hang with Edward Snowden. You will be fine. Don't worry.
I'm the machine."
Right. You're not gonna have fun in Russia.
And I don't really remember, I don't recall any violence on the plane between Johnny and I, but I remember.
Wait, what? You don't recall between Johnny and you?
Yeah.
Because then you would have had to log that, you would have had to document that, you would have to show any proof of that.
Johnny and I differ. He's got a hot girlfriend and assumedly a hot stewardess wanting to make out with each other.
Yes.
I'd be like,
yes. He did not try
go at it.
He did not try to make the three-way happen. He did not try to make
That's
the three-way
where we
happen.
differ.
Yes. If you had if I'm assuming she was a hot, possibly Russian girl, I'd just be like, let's make it happen, baby.
I remember feeling this tension because I was wondering when it was gonna.
By the way, you know how that situation more likely happened, Jeff? It more likely happened that the waitress went to touch Johnny Depp, and she freaked out.
Yep.
Because she would never share Johnny Depp with another woman.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way a woman like Amber Heard would share Johnny Depp. No way.
Because he had this particular thing about, at the time I understood he had a particular thing, a sensitivity about me and women, because I had a female partner.
I encourage that behavior.
Who you abused, but who you abused, by the way. And the fact is that later on she brings up the Kate Moss incident. Well,
I hope that opened the door to her past history.
Open the door to her domestic violence against her female partner.
God, I hope so.
That would be amazing.
So I was feeling nervous, anxious, and I remember
I like her lawyer's expression.
Wide, at least.
He's like, what?
I didn't say anything. To the hotel.
Camille's ready though. She's got that pen.
And
Move your fucking head, Johnny.
Johnny's accusing me of effectively having engaged that caused that. I of course deny it. Point out what I thought was obvious. That like we'd given her drugs. Wasn't an affair. Wasn't and I'm trying to argue and defend myself at the same time. And at one point, Johnny just shoves me just shoves me hard. And I fall back onto this glass table.
I love his ties too.
Myself on the table. I don't know how some furniture got knocked around. There was I'm trying to stand up for myself. I'm trying to stand up. Literally, I'm not. At this point, I don't even try to hit back or try to run. I'm in this hotel room trying to do my best to fight mostly the verbal accusations, but also I try to stay on my feet.
It's mostly verbal, but you're
point,
accusing him of pushing you down and holding
Johnny
you down.
whacks me in the face, and
whacks you in the face.
I don't remember feeling pain or like.
Okay, time out. Time out.
Yeah, let's time out here. Yeah, let's time out. That's a good point.
She does this repeatedly from the beginning. In numerous cases of these alleged abuse, she specifically says, I didn't feel pain. I felt embarrassment. I didn't feel the pain. He knocked the shit out of me and knocked me on the floor.
That's a narrative thing. Anybody who's been hit in the face, anybody who's been actually hit in the face knows it's painful.
And especially you flick your nose harder than that, and you're like, fuck! And you don't forget being hit in the nose.
Nobody forgets a punch in the face. Nobody forgets a punch in the face. I remember when I was in Miami, I was in high school, I got mugged, right? I was walking down the wrong road in Miami. Yeah. And they punched me in the back of the head. I cannot forget that. Right. It's something that you remember, right? Because it's a fucking jarring experience.
Well, and she is demonstrably.
And it was painful.
Yeah, and
I remember the fucking pain as it hit my head and as I hit the fucking floor. I remember the pain.
She demonstrably does things that are unnatural, that don't fit in with the normal physiological responses. She talks about these weird things, like when the first time it happened, she's knocked to the floor, the dirty carpet thing. And then when he's doing the cavity search, she says, I was just looking at the blue light. I didn't know there's a blue light and I just didn't know it. And then when she's being savaged by the Maker's Mark bottle, she didn't feel the pain. She was thinking of other things. And she doesn't have any specifics. When you're in these situations, the extraneous things you don't remember. You remember the details of the pain. You remember the details of the assault because you're trying not to fucking die.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't remember the details of the assault or the pain of the assault. She remembers the color of lights, whether the carpet's been shampooed, what glasses were over there. It makes no fucking sense at all.
Exactly.
I'm sorry for dropping F-bombs on your channel.
No. You drop them all the way.
My blood pressure is up.
You drop them as much as you want. You drop them as much as you want. This is a legal mindset. We're unscripted here, guys. This is my take. We do it my way. And we're completely.
Next time I'll double up on the blood pressure meds. I'm old. Fuck.
That's fine. Brandon says, I am the machine.
Yamashina.
This PSA needs to be read again.
Have you seen Bert Kreischer's I Am the Machine comedy bit?
No, I have not. We need
just write that down, search it.
Okay.
Bert Kreischer is a great comedian. He talks about going to Russia and getting accidentally involved with the Russian mafia on a train ride. It's a beautiful skit. That's his deal. Yeah, I'm the machine. That's where that's from.
But once again, guys, do not smash crazy. Guys and girls. This is for both of you. This is all genders. Don't smash crazy. Don't smash crazy. Don't do it. Don't put yourself in it. Amber has the memory of an aggressor, not a victim.
Yes,
That
sir.
is very, 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 very true. And Kat, I want to make sure I don't miss this one here. Kat says she's parroting what JD said. Here we go. I'll pull it up right here. She's parroting what JD said about when his finger was severed / eviscerated. Yes, she's trying to take, like I point this out. Guys, she's been doing this. Whatever happened to JD, she's flipping it back and she's making it on herself. It has to all be about Amber Heard. Everything needs to be about her.
Well, and this isn't one of your super chats. I'm sorry for doing it, but
No, go ahead.
Red Eye Good here makes a comment. I've been punched in the face by my ex-husband. I don't remember the lead up. All I remember is earring and seeing stars. I wasn't worried about my dirty carpet.
Yep, she did. She said ears ringing and stars. Yeah. And by the way, that's terrible. That's real abuse. That's something that nobody should have to deal with. Let's be very, very clear about that.
And those are the memories you have.
Yes, you do not have memories of the goddamn carpet. Okay,
you're trying not to be killed.
Yeah, you don't remember the carpet. You don't remember the carpet. Literally, sorry. Max just sent me a text message because he has my fucking phone number. He sent me a text message of Bert Kreischer in the machine. So I've got that.
Watch that. It's beautiful. And he's actually making a Netflix series about his experience. It's a great 15-minute comedy bit. Beautiful.
Great stuff. All right. Back at it, guys. We're almost done here. 10 minutes.
Awareness of my nose or anything. I don't remember thinking that. I remember kind of crying and feeling. I went into the bathroom and I wanted him to have I just remember wanting him to realize what had happened. I wanted him to kind of snap out of it. I wanted him
snap out of the drug haze.
I wanted him to realize what was going on, because a big part of this, I felt like he wasn't aware. There was this sense that he didn't know what was going on.
How are you so lucid?
Again, I don't know how much of the drugs or alcohol is a part of this, but
well, she'd taken the MDMA, so who knows what the fuck she's taking.
Exactly. Mind you, this whole testimony, she's admitted to being high. So why aren't we supposed to discount what she was saying? She's acting like she was completely lucid.
Out at some point, because I don't hear him in that room. I remember we had been arguing in the main room, but I went out to the hallway, which is where I presume he walked out. And his bodyguard, Jerry Judge, was in the hall. And I don't...
He was dead and can't corroborate?
I remember seeing Jerry Judge, who gestured to my
Objection,
nose.
hearsay.
She's just
Fucking
said
right.
He hasn't said anything yet.
All right, gesture's fine. I'll overrule the objection. He gestures to my nose and holds out his handkerchief, like a cloth handkerchief.
Probably to clean off the powder.
And I instantly felt...
By the way, that hearsay objection, that kind of hints at the Jerry Judge issue. So I feel like anything involving Jerry Judge is going to get that objection because he's not here.
He's dead.
So, yeah, and they haven't passed the threshold for admitting his evidence because there is the evidentiary exception for dead people.
I just felt really embarrassed. I felt ashamed. I don't know how else to describe it. I just felt like just really embarrassing. And I went inside the room.
What, if any, injury did you have?
I had a little blood coming out of my nose. I didn't know it. I didn't.
Where's the pictures?
Jerry gave me.
No pictures.
She takes pictures of everything.
No doctor support. Yeah, as a celebrity who's literally taking Snapchats, Instagrams, all this, you take zero photos?
And even if she takes the pictures, like if you said, she takes the pictures of him sleeping, the broken ping pong table, the floors, but not the injuries.
Every negative thing, except for the things that matter.
Where's the paparazzi pictures?
Jerry, let me know. And I went inside the hotel room, and it is embarrassing as it is. I remember just wanting Johnny to say sorry. I wanted him to realize it's so stupid, but that's the emotional part.
She says this so many times. I don't understand. She doesn't feel the pain. She feels embarrassment. And I don't understand that.
And
Yeah, I don't get it either.
I wanted it to be okay. I didn't want him to think I was interested in this flight attendant. I didn't want him to think that I would capable of cheating on him. I was in love with him. I wanted, I just wanted things to be okay.
No one is believing
Take you to
that.
July 9th,
No one.
2013. Did there come a time that you went for a ride you went to the Bahamas and went on a ride, the yacht with Johnny and his kids?
Well, it's less. We flew out to the Bahamas to his island. He was selling the yacht to J.K. Rowling, and he wanted to.
J.K. Rowling. Triggered. She's a turf. She's a turf. We gotta crack down on J.K. Rowling.
Oh, I just hit 360 subscribers. You guys are awesome.
Thank you guys. Legal Vices. Check him out. His link is in the description. Let's help him get to 500, guys. There's thousands of you plus watching, 2,000 plus of you watching. Make sure you smash the like button if you like this content.
Yeah,
it helps me know.
1,000.
It helps me know when you hit like on this. It helps me know you like it. And if you follow him, I'll bring him back, right? I mean, otherwise, he's relegated to the ghettos of Busan,
Yeah,
and
otherwise
he
I'm
will never.
like a shithead you never want to see.
Yeah,
Again.
I'm
I'm sorry.
He will never leave Hooker Hill in Itaewon. He'll be stuck there forever.
On the yacht, so it was docked off the island, and I went with him and his kids, who I had quickly developed a bond with and loved, and
can she bond with anybody
along with us? I think
No.
to kind of help.
Serpent.
And, yeah,
She cannot pair bond.
Tell the jury what happened on that trip.
Johnny was upset that he had to sell the boat.
She's never done anything wrong in this relationship.
Off the wagon again, but he didn't want to tell his kids, so he was hiding it from them. He was putting it in coffee cups and drinking, and the behavior just kind of like, he was upset, he was emotional, and he just
I'm glad my son knows who I am.
we dealt with it, but there's just no off button for Johnny. So he just kept drinking, and the behavior kept getting more obviously drunk. And Lily Rose, his daughter at the time, was young, so maybe 14. And he started to get panicky and started to ask me questions about his drinking.
Objection, hearsay.
Without saying what Lily Rose was saying, please continue on.
Same objection. So she was
Camille,
asking me questions
coming through.
about drinking.
I love Camille.
I was very upset.
Sustain the objection.
You can't say what Lily Rose said. But
yeah.
you can tell gestures, you can tell, and you can say what you and Mr. Depp said, okay?
Sorry. So she was upset, and Johnny we were with the kids, and he kind of threw himself off the boat in a half playful way.
I don't understand what this means. This whole line of testimony.
It's weird. It's really just like awkward. I'm like, what's the point to this testimony? Yeah.
Dead fish kind of way. I don't know how to describe it. Almost like a belly flop. But
I mean, he's just this fish thing off a boat, which I've done before.
She's trying to neg his belly flops, like be like, oh, he gave a weird belly flop. Like, oh my god, like I don't know what it was. She like everything he does, she puts in a negative light.
And she's never done anything wrong.
And she loved him.
Holy shit! I did 60 subscribers like in the last 2 seconds. Wow!
Oh, awesome!
You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, guys.
A smaller boat parked next to the yacht, and he's jumping.
That's a nice boat. If your boat has a boat,
kind of in a face.
That's a big yacht.
Chest forward way, like it looked a little scary, like not something somebody would do.
I do it.
They're completely okay. It was
okay. I've jumped off boats. Shit.
Yeah, you just do it. Everybody does dumb shit jumping off a boat.
In Miami, there's this area that's now shut down because it's illegal. It's called Stiltsville. Shout out to my people who may know about Stiltsville from South Florida. It's this community of houses which were built out on the water, and they're like up on stilts.
Oh, okay.
And you get to them by boats, which will dock underneath them. They actually destroyed a lot of the boat docks. There's only like one or two that were privately owned that held out for a while. And I happen to know somebody was out there, so we'd go party on that. Their like dad owned it, so we'd party when we were in high school and college. And these were on still, so they're pretty raised from the water. So even jumping from like the main level where the house was, like the floor level was high, but we would go to the fucking roof and dive off the roof into the water. That was probably the most painful. Yeah, that was the most painful experience I've had because I near belly flopped. I felt that shit for like a week.
You would do it to make your friends laugh.
Yeah, but exactly. But it was us having fun, right? And it was us being goofy. And there's nothing weird about it. It's not suicidal about it. It was us having fun out there. You know, and yeah, it hurt, but we're trying to have fun. And I think Johnny was trying to have fun with his kids.
Sure, you just do like I'm a little fish. I'm just flopping off the. I mean, it makes perfect sense to me. I've done it. I do it.
Yeah.
Are you on bottle number 3 now?
That's 2. I mean, don't shame me. Don't shame me, Jeff.
I'm envying you.
Started off all of us kind of taking turns jumping off the edge of the yacht into the water, and then he, at one point, kind of throws himself over, and it looked a little scary.
Oh, shut up.
The way his body fell into the water, and Lily Rose
scary, Jeff.
Started to cry and expressed to me that she
Objection,
was
hearsay.
upset.
Hearsay.
Gotcha.
Objection. Hearsay.
Gotcha.
Expressions or observations, but you can't say what Lily Rose said.
So Lily Rose is crying, and then the crying becomes like a panic, like almost like a panic attack.
Are you a psychiatrist?
Lots of questions, and I'm holding her, kind of comforting her, and Johnny comes in, and within a few seconds, I realize that he, kind of shifted his attention on me, and then he seemed very angry. He asked Lily Rose to leave. Lily Rose leaves, looks at me, leaves, crying, and Johnny, I don't remember the words he used, but starts accusing me of kind of like telling on him.
Tattletale, tattletale. Wash your face in a garbage pail.
On him.
Try it off with ginger ale.
A drunk in front of his kids. I hadn't done that.
Probably her reaction. She was probably reacting negatively, and that negative energy impacted his child. I would believe that.
Absolutely.
I would 100% believe that her hysterics were making the child cry.
I concur.
It didn't feel like my place at all to share that with his daughter or.
It wasn't your fucking place.
Know your role and stay in your lane.
At the time, other than adults who might help with it, but not his kids. So I was trying to tell him I was just trying to comfort her. I was trying to protect you. He basically was accusing me of doing this thing and of making them aware of his that he was drinking again. And
I think they probably knew he was drinking.
The side wall of the bedroom of the we were in the bedroom this whole time, but up against the wall of the cabin.
Frankly, I think this is my perspective. I think that his behavior is pretty consistent. I think that Johnny Depp was probably behaving the same way he always has behaved. Like Johnny Depp seems like the way he was a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It doesn't seem like Johnny Depp is going through like wild swings in behavior. He seems consistent. I'm not saying that he's like mentally stable. I'm just saying he's consistent.
And the only things that make sense when he's been inconsistent is when she gives a testimony about being on the island with him during his detox situation. And I've had friends that have gone through detox from cocaine and heroin. And
it's not fun.
You just have to put up, because there's shit that's going to go down that you just have to roll with because they're in a completely different place than you.
Their body is literally saying, you are going to die.
Yeah.
That's what their body is telling them, and they have to fight that instinct.
And she complains about that, like, oh, he wanted to have sex with me, which wasn't usual for him, which is really weirdly like beta. And he wanted to do this. He was like angry. people are like, I dated a girlfriend that was coming down from a cocaine addiction in high school, and that was the roughest 10 days of any relationship I've ever been in. I mean, because she was somewhere else. You just have to accept that this is not her. This is the drugs going, and you can't hold them accountable.
An
for
out-of-body
anything.
experience, yes.
Yeah. She hits me if she does. I mean, that's not her. That's the cocaine addiction withdrawal happening.
Mm-hmm.
But it hurts weird.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
And slams me up by my neck and holds me there for a second and tells me that he could fucking kill me. And that was an embarrassment.
See, that's weird. She's choked and she's embarrassed, not like in pain. That's weird.
Right. She's focusing on the embarrassment, not on the fact that she's being choked out. No, it's not. No, Jeff. It's not an understanding thing. It's it didn't fucking happen thing.
Well, okay, let me rephrase that. If this actually happened and she was actually embarrassed by all of these situations, I don't understand why she would be embarrassed.
Yeah. Deborah says the Australia tape can clearly hear Amber Heard wearing shoes, entering and leaving the room looking for the finger trip. How were the feet cut up so bad? Thank you. How? It doesn't make any sense.
That whole thing is ridiculous, where she just talks about it for 5 minutes. He's winging cans at her, winging bottles at her, smashing them all over the floor. She's slipping on the broken glass. He's dragging her by her hair through the broken glass.
Yep.
There's not a single fucking picture of cut feet, bruised feet, cut
not
arms,
a scratch,
nothing. And if what she says is true, well, that sucks, because I don't believe it, because of all this shit you take pictures of. There's not a single picture of these horrific injuries and horrific incidences she's describing.
Not one.
Zero credibility.
Not
and
one.
that's the thing they say. If you're lying about one thing, what's to say you're not lying about everything?
Exactly. If you can lie about one thing, you have no ethical problem about lying about everything. That's what we're seeing here. Helen says that she even dares to talk about his kids. Yes, she did. She has no shame in her game. She will use whatever and whoever to get at Johnny Depp.
That's got to be rough for him to sit there and hear her talking about his kids. That would be the Will Smith, keep my kid's name out your mouth.
Keep my kids. Ridiculous. By the way, Prairie Farm Girl says, subscribe. Good to see more lawyers during the law crowd. Yes. Good to see different people doing. Thank you so much.
And since you mentioned this like 3 or 4 minutes ago, there's been 100 new subscribes and went to 457 now. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy.
Yes. He's good. You guys, we gaslit you into subbing. Appreciate that. Max says Amber's narcissism views embarrassment as an insult. I agree. I agree. Embarrassment is the worst thing for Amber. Is the absolute
you can
worst.
do better than 250 yen.
Yeah. it's like hold on. It's like we're in Asia. We know how much that is. You know, it's like when I send a 5,001. If I did like a 5,001 super chat, be like, wow. People who aren't in Asia be like, wow, he's sending 5,000. And I'm like, it's like 425. Don't get too excited. You know,
so
like
you're shaming me for my 5,001 comments, aren't you?
Yes, I do. You try to like flex with your 5,001. I'm like, bitch, that's $4. I know exactly what you're doing right now. Like,
you can afford more than that.
I've seen you drink. I've seen how much you spend at the bar. It is way more than that, motherfucker. Help me afford my bar tab. But no, I appreciate
from
that,
now
guys.
on. Okay.
Brandon says drinking stream until legal license gets 500 sub. No, I can't do that because he will enjoy that too much.
We got 38 to go. That can happen in like 2 seconds. We got 38 to go.
He will do that too
I've
much.
emptied my reserve bottle, so if it goes over that, I got to go back to the wall of shame.
You're gonna have to take the walk of shame to the back. Oh God, hold on. We got a couple more super chats here that just came in.
But I like the way you think, Brendan.
WD said, I used the same thing at Stiltsville. So he knows Stiltsville. So, and then head over to Fowley Rock. Yes, Fowley Rock, the snorkel and fish. The natural beauty of Miami almost makes the carpet bagging suckermon infestation worth it.
I don't even know what that means, but I assume that's like the Californication.
I haven't heard the word carpet bag in a while, so I do appreciate that.
Jeez, I haven't heard it since like 9th grade, learning about the Civil War, Reconstruction era shit. I'm assuming that's like what we in Utah call the Californication of Utah.
Yes. Jade says they need to bring in the trauma doc to explain injuries that would be sustained if she actually went through what she was claiming. 100%. She'd be way more injured if she went through what she was claiming to go through.
No, that's why I say if even 1% or 10% of what she claims happened to her, Johnny Depp needs to be like executed and buried 5 fucking miles under the jail floor, because all of this shit doesn't happen to a person and they're able to. This is unreal. The amount of
unreal levels.
Like,
yes.
I mean, this is your channel, this is your deal, but like I broke down every time she mentioned being hit, and just the clips of her saying he hit me, he pulled my hair. That was 25 minutes of video.
Yes. It's crazy, right? It's crazy.
So
it's insane.
You're talking 50, 60, 75 incidences of horrific abuse. I mean, I can't imagine what a human being would be left. What amount of soul would be left if you actually suffered everything that she alleged, which goes back to it denigrates everything that any real victim of
victim has gone through. Yes,
has gone through.
Yes, it degrades real victims.
Absolutely,
and it makes real abusers look completely different. By the way, shout out to Definitely Feel, a new member. You now have access to the emojis. You have access to the soju emoji. So soju, you have access to Andrew. And you have Andrew and Adam, which is my hoodie, ready to fight somebody mindset. You have access to the vampire. You have access to the toilet, the vampire, and the cat girl. So all of these new emojis. Custom emojis. There will be more emojis to be added in the future. So welcome to the crew.
Disclosure: I'm not a member of but also
shame.
Legal Mindset hasn't subscribed to my channel yet.
Wait, what? No, I have. I actually have.
No, you haven't.
Bullshit.
You haven't.
That's some bullshit.
I checked that before the stream. I was going to shame you.
Well, you didn't check during the stream, and since then I've subbed. So I mean, yeah, for sure,
All right.
for sure. Okay. Yeah, I'm absolutely subscribed. I mean, really, for real. Steve says, "Don't think one lie will kill your credibility. Get a perjury conviction on your record and see how it affects the rest of your life." Yes. Here's the unfortunate thing, and everybody is asking this question. And here's the thing, Jeff, and I've answered this, so I'm going to kick it to you.
Okay.
Will Amber Heard catch a perjury charge for lying on the stand like she did in this case?
Short answer, no.
Why not?
Unfortunately, because everybody does it. That is probably the most under-prosecuted crime that exists as far as witnesses, perjury, liable things. I mean, it's not worth a prosecutor's time to go after it. I mean, everybody perjures themselves.
Yep.
Which is the interesting thing about Korean law. Like in America, we value the witness's direct testimony over the evidence because we say documents can be forged. The Korean courts take the view that the documentary testimonies, the briefs, the affidavits are more valuable than in-person testimony
right.
Because they assume that the witness is going to lie, but they assume that the written briefs from the lawyers are not going to lie. So like perjury is committed daily everywhere across the states, but it's almost never prosecuted.
Almost never, guys. So that's an important fact, guys. Just understand, it's not just Amber Heard. It's not just her getting away with it. It's not just pretty privilege. It's everywhere. It never happens. It's the least prosecuted charge ever. Cookie says, we are all watching this from the outside. What do you think the jury is seeing and what they might be thinking? I covered this with Christina Radioverix. We talked about it last week. We talked about it the week before too. She's sitting in the courtroom. What she told us on this stream, being in the courtroom, was that the jury is non-responsive. They've been instructed not to react.
Now she's only on Instagram. She's not on YouTube, correct?
She is on YouTube.
Well, what's her YouTube thing? Because I
Radix,
couldn't
I think
find
it's
it.
Radix Verum. So she doesn't do too much, but she's started a little bit more. Radix Verum. She has 1.89 now. She's at almost nothing. So she's gained a lot of subs there. But
because you were mentioning her assets, and I was trying to like confirm the assets thing, and I couldn't find it. So I wanted to ask you about that.
She was sitting by Green Dress Girl one day. You got to look specifically. But anyways, we can have her. We can pull her on and do a me, you, and her stream, and you can be like, "Hey, Christina,
that was awesome.
Show it or don't show it." You know, I mean, you gotta put up or shut up, right?
No, because I loved her mindset, her legal mindset, if I may.
It was very good. It was very good.
I mean, it's very, very grounded. I won't say based because that's like a term of art at this point. But she's very grounded.
Even though I used that in the title of today's stream, but that's fine. That's fine. Steve says, I already got that one from Steve. Here we go. Let's be real says she's embarrassed because she's lying. She doesn't feel the pain because she didn't get hurt.
She's exactly. A sociopath. Yeah, she's a sociopath.
Yeah, but this is true. She doesn't know the pain because she never experienced it because it's not real. It's hard to manipulate your words as you lie.
And that's an awesome profile picture, by the way.
Yeah, very, very good. All right. Yes. And Soul Sports says Christina's base. I love her. Yeah, she's great. This is her channel. Everyone loves Christina, aka
Radix Verum. Okay.
Radix Verum.
I have my official legal pad right here.
Green Dress has already been invited, by the way. Shenley Porter has already been invited. She is ready.
But she wants to check your stream first.
She can get the legal mindset. And by the way, so can Camille Vasquez. She can get the legal mindset.
Have you seen all the shit that's like on Instagram about her and Johnny Depp being a thing now? Like Johnny Depp falling for her and her falling for all the flirting videos that are coming on?
I've seen that. I've seen the shipping, right? Well, people like to ship.
I'm desperate to find out about this because I discovered late yesterday evening on like my LinkedIn, which I don't give two shits about LinkedIn, but I've noticed that someone in Camille's firm is like 2 degrees of separation from me. And I'm trying to find out who that common link between me and the senior partner in Camille's firm is. Because I have like 144 links is all.
If you can get it, Jeff, if you can get it, that'll be the interview of the century. You'll be the hero that
I've sent out the feelers.
We do not deserve the hero, but we need you. We need you, Jeff.
I've sent out the feelers to try to figure out who this connection between me and the senior partner in her firm is.
We need it. Steps on glass, Die Hard style, but doesn't go to the doctor.
I mentioned that in my video. It's like
true though. It's true.
Die Hard shit.
But here's the thing. But this point, well, let me read the rest of the super chat. Instead, takes the dog to the doctor after stepping on a fucking bee the next day. I got questions, bro. Ija,
you are the boss
man.
for today.
You're the man. This is so fucking true. Here's the thing. She thinks this is Hollywood because in Hollywood, they don't step on real glass. They step on plexiglass. They step on sugar, right? They step on things that are not real glass. If anybody has been cut by real glass, they know the glass doesn't fuck around. I dropped my clock. I had a clock here with this beautiful legal mindset banner that was made by one of my good fans. I really appreciated them putting that together for me. I had a clock there. It was a glass clock. It dropped. When it dropped, there were glass shards everywhere. When I walked back there to pick it up, I got a shard in my foot. I thought I was about to go to the fucking doctor.
It hurt like a motherfucker, didn't it?
Over one shard of glass.
I mentioned that also on my last video. Like I break the shit out of these things, and like the last time I broke a glass was about 3 months ago, and just over here yesterday, I somehow, because you can never clean up every piece of these shards that break.
It's not possible.
And there was like this little micro shard that went into my big toe, and that hurt like a bitch. Let alone being drugged through it, slipping on it, stepping on it, sliding on it. I mean, that is such
you will not
bullshit.
Forget that pain. You will not forget that pain.
No, and the jury is not supposed to look at any media or YouTube. I hope every one of them this week is just deep diving into this shit and sees what we as lawyers are seeing.
They're not sequestered, so I mean,
I hope they are.
They're not sequestered. And once again, it worked against the jury in some of the other cases. This time it's working for the jury. If they turn on the internet, they're going to get the Johnny Depp truth here.
Johnny Depp is going to go back to work soon. Amber Heard is
absolutely.
She's not going to survive for Aquaman 3.
Yeah.
They're going to bring in Emilia Clarke because Jason Momoa wants her to come in.
Yeah. So Daffodil Field with the I guess it's Saudi Real, right?
Parakeet floor.
As she claims Johnny was dragging her across the parakeet floor. Once again, she forgot her line. This is a missed line here. The parakeet floor. She felt her skin crackle on the beautiful wooden floor. She still appreciates beauty. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like what world are we living in here? This is a fucking clown world. This is ridiculous. Right here, Sequester says, I love Camille and Johnny Depp, but honestly, I think people should stop the shipping post. It doesn't make her look good. She's in professional. Camille, Sequester, we have fun here, guys. We're having fun with this. We know that she's a professional and she's doing her job. Nobody's insinuating that she's doing anything improper. No one's insinuating that she's breaking her ethical duty. By the way, that is an ethical duty. You can't bang your clients unless you're already banging them. So if it's your wife, right, you're allowed to represent your wife, but you can't have a sexual relationship, a personal relationship with somebody while they're being your client. Like
that's
while
a pretty good way to lose your license quickly.
It's a quick way to be disbarred. Now, that being said, a little flirtatious? Yes, ma'am.
And 1 second after the jury hands down his verdict is a different story.
Is a different story. As soon as the case is over, you're on the clock.
Now,
she can be a professional and do her job and still be a lady. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to remove
into
them.
this. Apparently, she's in a long-term relationship with a.
How'd you find that out?
I plead the fifth in that respect. But she's apparently in a long-term relationship with a real estate investor from Florida.
Really? Oh, well, is his name Legal Mindset?
Yeah. I mean, you wish. but so like apparently she's involved with someone else, but
you know that I did. Hold on though. Do you know that one of my main practice areas in Florida was real estate development?
No, and that's why I want to talk to you.
I know
some point about this
just
Disney
about
deregulation.
Every single real estate developer in at least South Central and south of Jacksonville, Florida. So it's very possible that I know this developer. And all I'm saying is,
you can just, hey, is this guy bothering you?
I have more game than that developer. Oh, that's all I'm saying. All right. Burst of Beauty says, narcissists only know to lie. They will try to lie their way through everything with overtly dramatic behaviors and get furious when they're caught. That's very, very true.
But do they even know it's a lie is the question. Or do they just believe it all centers around them?
And this has become the fishtail, right? This has become the story that's expanded and expanded and expanded. She doesn't know how to unlie. She's been lying for so long. The only reaction is to lie more, is to expand the lie.
I mean, the law tubes have gone through all of the testimony and this. Now the thing that's starting to come out is the deposition that she gave back in 2016. That's some interesting, aggressive stuff that she's got there.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap! I just hit 500 subscribers.
Very good. He's at 500, guys. We
Nicholas.
will not be doing the drinking all night. He's at 500. The guys, thank you so much. 500.
Why
subs.
do you make me stop drinking?
Wait, hold on. Shots for 500 subs. I think you're gonna have to go get the bottle right now. You're gonna have to go do that.
I have zero idea how to like stop my video at this point. So you're not gonna get.
Hold on. I got you. I can remove you. There, you're out. It's just me for a second. Okay, go get a drink. We're gonna do this. So, white nights only come out at night. That's very, very true. It's very, very true. Let's see what else we got here. Amber's Atlantis is closed. That's a good line there as well, from the Mirror Man. What's the weirdest thing about the PR passing notes to Amber Heard's lawyers? Was that weird thing? Well, here's the thing. The PR firm, this is the weird relationship that they have, because I think that at this point, Amber Heard realizes this is a PR nightmare for her. So they're more worried about her reputation because, frankly, the damage is to Amber Heard's reputation. Regardless of the legal outcome, Amber Heard's reputation has been nuked.
Oh, she's done. I would be surprised if she comes back for Aquaman 3. But for those of you that care, this is an amazing Colonel E.H. Taylor single barrel bourbon, bottled in bond, aged at least 4 years, with an amazingly high alcohol content, which I absolutely love. So it's a 50% alcohol. This is going to be my cheers. Thank you, everybody. I'm up to 518 subscribers now because Legal Mindset is the fucking man. And
Cheers.
You guys are the most awesome people ever.
Cheers
for your Immokalee.
Cheers to the Immokalee.
Next time I go to Seoul, we're doing a Immokalee bar in Itaewon that I know that is fantastic. They've got the
I really love
pancakes.
Immokalee. I've been converted. I was a soju. I was a fan of soju. Soju is one of the main Korean drinks. But
man.
Soju's crap compared to Immokalee. I'm on the Church of Immokalee. I praise the
There's the
Immokalee
two
train.
kinds of them. The Immokalee is like a rice wine for those of you that don't know.
Yeah.
There's the two kinds. The traditional kind that has the natural carbon dioxide fermentation.
Yeah.
And the stuff where they add basically they just like add tonic water to it. And so like the legit stuff that where the carbon dioxide comes in naturally is awesome with like the onion pancakes, the pajan, boom. That ain't milk, Katie.
It's not milk.
That
Katie.
ain't milk, Katie.
It's not milk. It's not milk. Ain't no babies drinking this one, baby. This is not permitted for the children. You cannot substitute baby formula for this, guys.
No.
Trust me.
That's some serious rice wine.
I mean, especially under these lights, because my lights are pretty bright here. Like I'm feeling this, man. I'm feeling good. All right, but let's finish this testimony. We got some left here.
This whole thing.
No, I don't want to finish because you're going to hang up on me.
I'm interested, and I'll never forget.
I'll never forget.
Ever.
I'm very, very, very much.
Spit it out, bitch.
You know, and he's saying I'm embarrassing to him. And that
used that word embarrassing so much.
More than the I could fucking kill you. It just sounded like hyperbole. It sounded like something he was just saying, but that.
Well, because people say that all the time, by the way. People say, I can kill you, and they don't mean it, right?
Yeah.
I can be like, Jeff, I'm going to fucking kill you. I don't mean I'm going to kill you. I just mean like I'm angry at you. Or maybe even it's playful. Like the different ways you can say it, right? It's all about the context. It can be taken out of context.
Telling me. Kind of just pushing me up against the wall by my neck, you know.
Is the big electric cat running in Itaewon?
Feelings.
No.
When I communicated when I saw Lily Rose again, we get
only the best Cambodian titty milk for a Legal Mindset.
Shout out to Dave Chappelle, tackled by a tranny on stage. Still rocking it. He did better than Chris Rock did on stage, so I'll give him that. We are not
best Cambodian titty milk.
We are not shutting down the studio. We got the sugar cookie. We got the Cambodian breast milk. We're gonna keep going.
Oh my god!
What she told me, but the next thing we do is we call for a helicopter to come and take us off of the
We just call for our helicopter, Daddy's helicopter, to come and whirly bird us out of there.
The first world problems.
Yeah, it's just like a casual helicopter.
Island. So we leave the boat, go to the landing of a part of the island, or maybe it was a different, island we had to get to leave, and we take off. I'm holding Lily Rose in literally holding her under my arm while she's crying, and we're lifting off. And Jack ended up not coming with us at the last minute. He stayed behind.
I highly doubt she sent the child alone with Amber Heard.
Yeah.
Like, this sounds like some bullshit.
I'm sure there was a security guy involved.
I remember being really torn about leaving. I felt bad about leaving, even though that had happened.
Did he grab you by the pussy?
Awful leaving. I felt awful leaving him. I also felt like I had done something wrong. He was mad at me. I wasn't sure, what I had done, but I remember not being, I'm getting all these text messages from him calling me all these names, and it barely coherent, barely. And I'm holding his daughter crying.
Bullshit.
And let me just stop you for a moment. Michelle, can
Yes,
you
stop it.
pull up Defendant's Exhibit 180?
I believe that's already in.
It is already into evidence, Your Honor, so if we may publish it to the jury.
There was one point where the judge got really pissed that they weren't keeping control of their own evidentiary files. I love this text, by the way.
That's great. Rear, tears, beers, shears. Hold on. Let's just rears, tears, beers, shears, sapphires, leers, jeers, peers, queers, hears, fakirs, musketeers, ears. I can go all night. DJ Max. The old vintage I think it's motherfucker, but yeah. Let's the old vintage motherfucker you went for, dumbass.
And are these the text messages?
I love
Yes.
that text.
What he was sending me while I was
It says Steve.
taking care of his daughter.
Yeah, that was one of their nicknames for each other. Don't call me again. Eat salad, you equine.
With your equine and your bovine yerps. Can't you get support?
Yerps.
Yeah. Leave
Eat
me
salad.
fucking be, Officer Squarehead. Oh, bro. I mean,
That's like the greatest insult ever. Eat salad with your equine ad bovine yerps.
and here's the thing. He's coming down off coke right now.
You think?
So, you're exploiting that.
Oh shit, my face hurts from laughing tonight. This is like sad. It's a lesbian camp counselor.
Wow.
Go away, coach. Done. Yup.
Done. Why didn't you go away? And by the way, look at the date on this. Look at the date.
That was 3 years, but 2 years, 2.5 years before they got married.
Before they got married.
They got married in February 15.
Before they got married, guys.
Yeah.
This is a real red flag here.
Well, the interesting thing is, apparently from what I understand, is there's no definition of what constitutes domestic aggression in Virginia.
Uh-huh.
But so it could be verbal, but it's what the jury determines it to be.
Which leaves it up to who do they like more.
To break for the day. Okay.
So there's a break and they
ladies and
stop
gentlemen.
here. They stop here, guys. So.
Well, you know who is grateful for all of this Amber Heard stuff and Johnny Depp stuff going on during the break is Mario Batali, the celebrity chef guy who was accused of sexual assault. His trial happened over the last 3 days and nobody noticed.
Yeah.
He was found not guilty of sexual assault, but nobody paid attention to it because everybody is still analyzing the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard stuff.
And frankly, it's getting the main analysis. So we can stick on it and make those points, right? And bring up those points that are relevant to everything through the trial, which is what I'm trying to do on my channel. Have you seen the crazy cat lady, when in doubt, make up a defense video yet? law humor at its best. Tweeted you the link, copyright free. Okay, well, I will check that out to see if we got anything else here.
If that makes
Just
sense
wanna-
to you, that's awesome.
Only the best Cambodian titty milk for legal mindset. Amber Heard's career is over.
I
She
hope
should
so.
consider a career in MMA. I mean, Jeff, does she have any other career?
There's a stripper pole somewhere with her name on it.
Oh my God. I mean,
I hope she saved the money she's made from making these movies with Julio DeFranco or whatever the fuck his name is. Julio Franco.
She is not saved the money. Not at all. Legal Mindset. Will you ever get Nick on for a live stream? Yes. It's just with Nick. Here's the problem. He streams so long, it's hard to pick a time when
Does he ever sleep?
Exactly. When he's awake and he's not streaming, the motherfucker is streaming 24/7. So for me to get him on my channel, he needs to like get off his own channel, which is the problem.
Yeah, for my grift, that's where I need to. You need to hook me up with him. That's where I need to get my grift. Her and
He has
Alita.
no standard. Oh no. Nick has no standards. Nick is a hoe. He'll take anybody on his channel. So I'll get you on there, no problem, Jeff. Don't
Yeah,
worry
her
about
and Alita. Yeah, that's where I.
Alita, she's a little pickier, but
she's
you know,
done so well. During
I've
this
got away
trial. It's
with.
been
I've got away with blondes. I'll get you on Alita. Don't worry.
Alita
about it.
has
Don't
done
worry about it.
amazing during this Johnny Depp trial. Props to her.
She's
skyrocketed.
Indeed has no simping required. Now, here we go.
Props to her.
Great video here, guys. Dave Chappelle just got tackled on stage during his performance. So he just gets tackled. See all the security coming in? They chase the guy.
Was that Will Smith?
And look at the other comic. Look at his eyes. They're like, bruh.
Have
Like,
you seen
that
the
is-
picture of the guy being carried off in the stretcher with his arm all fucked up and like bending the way arms aren't meant?
Oh, that's the guy. The guy got fucked up after that.
Yeah, no, like the security, he got mobbed by Chappelle's security, and apparently they kicked the shit out of him, like broke both of his arms. There's like a deal where he's being carried out on the stretcher where his arms like bend the way that arms
Imagine
don't
if that.
bend.
Imagine if they did that to. Imagine if they did that to fucking Will Smith, and they like broke both of his arms.
I hope they do at some point just for the principle of it.
Recruiter streams like 18 hours a day. Yeah, so I have 4 hours to have him stream with me. So I have 4 hours, like 2 of which he's sleeping. You know,
And the other 2 is teaching his kids at homeschool. I don't know when that dude sleeps, but you know that's his deal. This is your deal. Your deal is
my
more
deal.
important. Yeah.
But guys, it is 1 a.m. here in Korea. So I love you
Holy
all.
crap.
I am streaming tomorrow. So here's my schedule. I'm streaming tomorrow with Nina Infinity on Nina's channel. She was on my channel. I'm going on her channel. So I'll be on Nina's channel. I guess today it's the morning, so that's your evening, right? So it's always, this is the thing with us here in Korea, Jeff. We got to do this math. So your evening, I'll be on with Nina. I think it's at 10 p.m. you guys' time. I'll be on with Nina. And the following day, I'll be having a stream with Scott from Future Conflicts. We'll be talking about the Summer of Love coming up, the riots that are coming up this coming summer. Then I'll have some clips, some vlogs coming up, some stuff from a really cool temple I went to here that'll be over on the weekend. And we'll be back into streaming on Amber Turd next week. I'll be into it. I'll be on Legal Bites. I'll be on Ricada. It'll be a great time. But guys, make sure you're subbing to Legal Vices. Go over. His channel is in the description. Check that out. We'll be back. I'll bring him back. If you like this, V in the chat for Legal Vices. I just want to know that you guys like this content. If you're on the replay gang, leave a comment. If you want to follow me, get more information, legalmindset.locals.com. Also, The Legal Mindset on Twitter. Guys, thank you so much. I love you. Thanks for sticking around as we roasted Amber Turd. I will catch you later, guys.